There we go. There we go. Do I need to turn my volume up? Probably not. Maybe a little. Maybe just a little. It's okay, no one's in within the first few seconds of the stream anyway. Filters. Audio. Let's bump that up ever so slightly. That's good enough for me, I think. Now I can stand up a little bit and it's about right volume. I'm going to check my... Yep, cool. YouTube sent me the notification, so I assume it sent someone else a notification. Me. Live, so I can check if anyone joins comments. I assume no one will. I assume this is such a weird time to stream. I don't think anyone will actually be in, but I don't want to document everything. So the purpose of this stream, the Secret of the Mimic releases in a couple of hours. I probably won't play it on launch, like the second it comes out. I'll probably go to sleep. This is quite late at night for me. It's like 11. It's 11 p.m. for me right now. So I'm probably going to just do this quick little stream, talk about some things about this game, just to get my pre-release thoughts out here. And the purpose of this stream is basically just, I don't have time to make a video, so I'm making a stream to get all my pre-release thoughts out, and yeah, that's basically it. I actually want to open up just some stuff on the wiki. They're just going to go through point by point throughout the things that have been revealed over time. I think the very first thing was the announcement teaser, I believe. Yes. I just want to try and refresh myself and everything. The very first thing was this. Now, this was important because it showed off... I'm not going to play all these videos and stuff. This did a few things. It revealed Jackie, first of all, right? It revealed the game would take place in 1979. Something that's been kind of beaten over the head since, and it's pretty obvious now. It also associated Jackie with My Grandfather's Clock, the song, which is the same song the Puppet uses. So right away, it's associating Jackie with the Puppet, which is interesting. I want to see if that goes anywhere in Secret of the Mimic. It might not. It might just be like a meta reference, because technically there's no reason why it have to be connected just because they use the same song. So I think it's more likely just a way to reference other parts of the series without continuity breaking. I think that's all it is. But if it does go somewhere, that would be pretty cool. Just something I want to keep in mind. What was the next thing that got revealed? That's not the reveals. Gameplay, that was a little further ahead. Go to, yeah, that's it. The end, your published PlayStation Store page. Yeah, but the VR stuff got delayed. We heard that in the interview. PAX West, yes, the PAX West stuff. We've got some explanations on that. There's quite a few things from PAX West, actually. Like, we got posters from the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So we know that, like, Freddy and Co, how their location, Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza, is planned to open soon, which is fascinating because they do not, in fact, open soon. That's actually something I think is going to be really important. One of the big important reveals of this game is I think that what's going on here is that Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was supposed to open in like 1980, like the early 80s, like right after the events of this game, shortly after, I mean. But then, due to some incident in this game, probably regarding the Mimic, I'm assuming it then got delayed. I think that's what that reveal is. What else was revealed PAX West? Foxy's in Pirate Cove, which, although sounds really and obvious, it's kind of not if you've read the week before. So apparently that means, I guess, that's interesting. I guess Foxy went between the stage and the Pirate's Cove. Maybe he wasn't exclusive on Pirate's Cove at the time. I don't know. It's weird because in the week before it says Foxy was on the stage with the rest of the crew. But I guess those things don't have to be exclusive, so just something to think on. What else was revealed in PAX West? A couple of character designs that we'd see plenty of later on, so I'm not going to bring them up here. I'll bring those up more when we actually get to the images. What else is at PAX? Other than descriptions, I won't talk about the descriptions either because, I mean, I think we all know Rome General. Just, you walk into the area, see Jackie, crank up Jackie's box, leave, open a door with Jackie's crank, and then Malbot gets decimated by Jackie, run through a vent, the chase begins, and then we see the chase later on. There's gameplay footage of the chase now. So, this is just the same thing? Yeah. Okay, cool. Next year, gameplay trailer will be revealed. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the gameplay trailer. It sets up a lot of context. Mainly that this game is a continuation of the Mimic story from Tales from Pizzaplex, which I think is really, really cool. I love that they're leaning into the book stuff. I don't even care if the books are canon or not. Just the fact that they're going into the book's content at all is just really cool to me. I can just play this just to pretend there's visuals on screen. um, Man, this game looks great though. I don't want to get distracted. I just want to try and get all my thoughts out. A couple other things actually. Now that this game got revealed, actually, a few other things are also notable. Like the fact that this is the Carnival game, because when the PlayStation Store page went up, it revealed that this is the Carnival game. So I think a lot of the Carnival imagery is coming to this game, and there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Carnival imagery. I don't even know where to begin with that. Uh, definitely the costumes end of Ruin. Like Ruin was teasing it. Help Wanted 2 had so much Carnival stuff. Like it had the Carnival Nurse. It had like the Carnival games with the Carney, which are definitely reappearing in Secret of the Merc, by the way. I think we've got like Epic Store uh, achievements that revealed it. So very interesting, very excited to see Carney again. I originally thought Carney was later in the timeline because in Help Wanted 2 he put him with the Glamrocks. But I'm assuming that's going to be coming in a Secret of the Mimic in the past. Just give me a second, I'm going to drink of water. Hi, Gamer Tunic. Yeah, just getting my thoughts out before the full game comes out. So, I don't know where Carney fits in. Because on one hand, as I said, from Help Wanted 2 alone, I'd assumed that Carney was... I'm getting visual. I need to get visuals up on screen, dude. Oh, hang on. Just so you're not looking at a blank screen. Carney. This dude. I love this dude. He's awesome. Where do you fit in? Because, yeah, as I said, in Help Wanted 2, he's grouped in with the Glamrocks and stuff that's in modern day. So I assumed he was a modern day character. However, the fact that he's a reskin of Lefty is really interesting, and it's kind of just generally implied that he's like a predecessor to Lefty. So maybe he's earlier. He gets burned at some point too, which that's another thing. A lot of people think he might be literally Lefty or redesigned into Lefty later. I don't know. I don't think that's true. I think they're separate animatronics. Even despite how similar they look, I think they're separate animatronics physically. Because Rockstar Freddy looks like Lefty as well, right? And Rockstar Freddy is just not Lefty, like obviously. I think it's the same thing here. Carney looks like Lefty, but I don't think they're physically the same. Because they get destroyed in different ways, right? Like you'd assume Lefty got destroyed in the 6th game file. Yet, Carney got destroyed at Full Fest. So I'd assume that Lefty isn't a fixed up Carney. I assume they're different. And then that also explains the weird timeline things, right? Because Carney is just generally implied to be early in the timeline now, I think. Because Help Wanted 2's big thing, there was a couple of things Help Wanted 2 was doing, but I think one of the things it was doing with all its carnival imagery was building up to Secret of the Merc, because as I said, as per the Steam Epic Games page, FNaF Secret of the Mimic PS. This should just, yeah, look at this. Oh, god damn it, it's not here. Okay, somewhere, maybe not in Australia, but somewhere, the PlayStation somewhere calls it FNaF Carnival. So it's obvious that the Carnival game and all the Carnival imagery is going into Secret of the Mimic. Which means, I mean, Carney is part of that Carnival imagery, so he should be relevant to this game. He should be appearing. And we even see a Steam achievement in the Epic Games Store page that references Carnival games, and it's like the ball toss from Phasmoblast. So once again, it just feels like he's reappearing in this game. So he's definitely early in the timeline. But he's also late in the timeline, because Help Wanted 2 itself, as I said, it pairs him up with the Glamrocks. So I think what's going on here is that Carney is like a Dreadbear, in the sense that he's a character that probably existed earlier on, that would probably just would go on to be a full fest character later on. So like if a Carney broke down, they just make a new one. I think it's just that simple. What time does the game release? Very soon, actually. Like 3 hours away, I think. It's it's soon. There's a non-zero chance that I yap on for so long in this stream that the game's about to just comes out before I go to sleep. If that happens, I probably just won't sleep tonight. Oh man. I just had to get my thoughts out. I had to talk about everything up to this point in one stream. I just really wanted to just lay everything out and get all my thoughts down, remind myself of everything before I went in. I just felt like that was something I really wanted to do. Get everything and think about everything. Get everything on mind. Because like Carney, for example, I'm already reaping the benefits of this. Because prior to doing this stream, I wasn't even thinking about Carney until I was reading this and remembered, oh yeah, the whole point of 2 carnival imagery. So I'm really happy that I'm doing this stream because now I'm realizing, oh yeah, look out for him, because he will probably appear in Secret of the Mimic. Other characters might appear in Secret of the Mimic because that's the only one. It's the Carnival Nurse, but we've already seen her, right? It's Dolly. We've already, like, that's the other thing, we've seen Dolly Carnival Nurse. Yeah. She's just, let's be honest, she's very obviously the Carnival Nurse in Whole Point 2. I think that's pretty obvious. Although in Whole Point 2 it's just her voice. It's not the physical animatronic. But I mean, it makes sense because if you've seen the gameplay footage we'll cover later on. Not the Dorko footage, by the way. I didn't watch the part 1 actual YouTuber footage. I'm not going to talk about that. I decided to keep myself away from actual like gameplay just because I didn't want to spoil myself. But I mean like the teaser gameplay footage. We saw her seriously screwed up. So I'm assuming that even though she gets destroyed, they just repurpose some part of a program that must be backed up somewhere. So that's my guess. It's the only thing I can think of because Help Wanted 2 is like modern day. Like the carnival game, the first aid mini games from Help Wanted 2. If I recall correctly, those are one of the games that are like, if I recall, it's for gaining your medical license, right? It's not one of the here's a thing that happened in the past type mini games. It's a Fazbear Entertainment is using these as training simulation to give you a medical license. So therefore, that minigame must be very carefully curated by Fazbear Entertainment. And I believe that's Steele and Scott's way of incorporating like Pizza Sim without doing Pizza Sim. But besides that, if they're using her likeness in that modern day for giving people medical licenses, but it's not her physically, it's just her voice, I can only assume there's just some remnant of her, of her planning or something that stuck around that she mustn't have. Like physically, I think she's gone. But she's very interesting either way. Whatever they actually do with her. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Mystic Hippo. That's the other character. That's the other one. Mystic. That's the other big Help Wanted 2 character that was like a big standout for the carnival imagery. Oh man, you didn't have the buttons. Is there a render that shows her with the button? You serious? Guys, FNaF Wiki. Why no update? Okay. Well, it's not updated, but take my word for it. In a later update to Help Wanted 2, they added the Murray's costume manor symbol to Mystic Hippo. So pretty much is borderline confirmed now that Mystic Hippo comes from Murray's costume manor. So, I mean, that speaks for itself, right? She's pretty obviously going to appear in this game, I think. Ooh. So I actually asked one of my friends to hop in for the stream if they wanted to talk with me here. I think they've just DM'd me. Did they just DM me? Are they ready to come on? If they are, I might have to open Discord. I think that's all the commentary from Help Wanted 2 though, because I think that's the main 3 pieces of carnival imagery, like these 3 characters. Right, I can't think of... Do I check Steam? I should check Steam, shouldn't I? Alright, hang on. I should check the game just to double make sure. Senator, if you're in chat, then you should like DM me on Discord. I know you're already DMing me on Discord, but you should like tell me if you're available to do stuff, because that would be sick. Alright, I'll bring this back. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to hide that just in case I accidentally show stuff maybe too. I think Senator ignored me. He ignored me. No, here he is. Yeah, because I was like, he was responding me on Discord, but he didn't respond to the to the thing of me asking if you wanted to actually come on. Alright. This is gonna be, yeah, no, this is, okay. I'm not gonna bother fixing this because I'm not here to play the actual game. I'm just here to just quickly check if there's more carnival imagery. So, you can just deal with the shit screen resolution for like 5 minutes. I just want to see if there's anything I missed. Alternatively, I could have checked the wiki, but this is more fun. There we go. Here we go. Now he's DMing me. Not for long. I want to go. Ah, okay. I'll have to open Discord up in a second. I just want to quickly check this. So none of this is carnival imagery. Anything here? No, that's all Pizzaplex. This is carnival imagery. That's Pizzaplex, Pizzaplex, Pizzaplex. Game. Boss. Anything else here? Carnival, Pizzaplex, Pizzaplex, Pizzaplex. Okay. Ticket booth. Ooh, yeah, there's some carnival stuff in there I forgot about. That's all sister location. Is anything here carnival imagery outside of Phazzoblast? Because I remembered Phazzoblast. No, I think it was only ticket booth, I forgot. Yeah. What's in ticket booth? Oops. That's right, the carousel. And the log ride. Okay, I'm done with this game now. That's all I wanted to check. And that. 1970. Okay. Alt F4 this. It's okay, guys. It's okay. You can have full screen now. I'm gonna open Discord up, see if I can get Senator on. So yeah, a couple things there. The carousel. There's a character that's really intrigued me, which is Jack Moon. Yeah. This guy's so interesting, is he not? What's your deal? Because there's so much. I think, okay, here's a theory of mine that doesn't really play into Secret of the Mimic, and probably won't play into Secret of the Mimic. But I think that the Jacko characters, like Jacko Bonnie, Jacko Chica, Jacko Moon, probably Dreadbear, Grim Foxy, I think they're all for Fall Fest. I think they're all Fazbear Entertainment going, hey, Fall Fest is all spooky, let's make creepy characters for a Halloween attraction. And I think that's what these guys are. That's the thing that makes the most sense to me. I'm gonna quickly see if I can get this DM up just real quick. Start voice call. Hi. Say hi for chat. Hello? Senator? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, sorry. I have to fix Discord up for a second. I know black screen. I'll fix the black screen in a second too. I just gotta one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Hello. Can you? Yes, I can hear you.
Well, good night for you.
Yes, good night for me. Yes, so I'm currently going through everything that we can reveal about Secret of the Mimic, and I'm talking about like everything one by one to remind myself of everything before the game comes out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so right now I'm really focusing on Help Wanted 2, because this is like the big one that's like was really early on. That's really intriguing.
Yeah, didn't they announce that Help Wanted 2 was going to receive an update just before the release?
You know what's really funny? I wasn't even thinking of the update. I forgot the update even existed.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of
So
inventory in the base game.
and all of a sudden they announced that in fact Secret of the Mimic won't be found in the game, but rather Help Wanted 2 if you look hard enough.
Fun fact, apparently there... Oh shit, that just audio peaked. Apparently there is actually a Help Wanted 2 update coming out soon.
Oh.
So...
Wait, how many hours do we have until they actually release Secrets of the Mimic?
3 hours. I hope to end stream and go to sleep before then. Do you reckon I can do it, or do you think I'll yap for 3 hours?
I knowing you, you can actually yap 3 hours. I've seen you doing that.
Remember when we like read one page of a book and it took like 3 hours?
Yeah, we are slow readers.
Oh, we have fun with it though. We have fun with it. That's why I wanted you in here today, because you're fun to talk with when it comes to these kind of things. But okay, I do kind of want to get back on topic. I don't want to really piss around too much because, as I said, I actually am quite tired. So I do want to try and get through this because I know if Secret of the Mimic releases before I go to bed, it's just fucking over. There's just no hope for me. Okay. So there's ticket boost levels in Hop 1 and 2. There was 2 levels in there, only 2. There's Captain Foxy's Log Ride and Carousel. Now we'll leave Carousel because that one's
Yeah.
interesting. Captain Foxy's Log Ride. Now, I have 2 thoughts about it. On one hand, I want to say, oh, that's obviously the one from the Pizzaplex that never got finished, right? That's just the thing that's it just feels obvious. But there's just kind of a few things really pulling me back from that. And the big one is, why the fuck is Jacko Moon here?
A really random addition, actually.
This is not, like, as I was saying just before, I don't know if you were actually, I think you were in chat when I was saying this, but I'm pretty sure the Jacko animatronics are Full Fest characters Fazbear Entertainment made as like horror attraction stuff for Full Fest. So Jacko Moon fits in really well with like 1970 Full Fest, which is another thing for Hole 2, by the way. Hole 2 confirmed that Full Fest has been a thing since 1970.
Makes sense. I mean, and Yakko is a way older animatronic that we might first think of.
Holy shit, I just realized. Back then, at the time of Secret of the Mimic, like, if I'm correct, in that this would be like the Halloween version of the daycare attendant from like use in Full Fest and stuff. That means that this is very likely the actual version of him that will appear in Secret of the Mimic. Because
That would be
it's the same time
interesting.
it's the same time period.
Yeah.
I'm very confident that the daycare attendant in one way or another will appear in this game. There's just so many things pointing to it. Um
Hmm.
to just go over that
Yeah,
list.
it sounds like the one game to introduce him. Maybe not as a daycare attendant. That was probably a role they gave him later in the Pizzaplex.
Yeah, in I believe Tales of the Pizzaplex Bobby Dot's Part 1 or Bobby Dot's Conclusion. It's one of the Bobby Dot stories, I'm pretty sure. I believe they say that he's
Hmm.
an the daycare attendant wasn't originally like for the Pizzaplex and wasn't originally a daycare character, in that they used to be an
Hmm.
old theater animatronic, which makes sense considering their
Hmm.
imagery. So that means that this guy, I'm probably going to say the Secret of the Mimic version of this character. I find out what his actual name is, I'm probably going to be calling him the theater performer because I feel pretty confident that that's alluding to his 70s version.
Hmm.
And holy shit, if this is the thing that will be attacking me in Secret of the Mimic, I might shit myself.
I will hope. I will hope not. Not as scary, at least. I
This
mean, it has to be something that kids would enjoy. Maybe Jacob Mugen is pushing it too much.
it doesn't though. It's for a Halloween attraction. They can go as the Jacko Bonnie and Jacko Chica are here. Ugh. Oh, this. Maybe I know I'm a bit of a baby. The daycare attendant's just creepy, especially the Jacko version. The only reason he's not
Yeah.
creepy in Help Wanted 2 is because they keep putting him in areas so dark that you can't see him.
Hmm.
And but anyway, that's
Oh,
besides.
and he,
Yep, there.
I thought he had a YouTube's or whatever, one of these Van Gogh designs, but it's funny.
Hmm.
I was looking at the designs.
The other thing I'm now realizing is that Help Wanted 2 only revealed Jacko Moon, which means there's a sun form they're hiding. So
And
that sun form has to be revealed at some point, right?
wait, wouldn't wouldn't that this be already Jack Moon? You got the Jacko-san?
Oh, you're gonna show me the picture for yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's
I just
Jacko Moon.
googled Jack Moon.
Yeah, that's Jacko
I
Moon.
just Google. Yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be also Jack's son because of this spiky hair resembling the sun?
No, because this is explicitly Moon, and he acts like Moon, because if you remember, like even I believe in Ruin, Moon had the broken sun pieces as well. So
Wait,
it's
I was looking. I was looking the signs for Jack and Moon. And what did you mean there's a wiki for the Sun and Moon
the fuck is this?
show?
Okay, we're getting way off track. Sorry. I really
Yeah,
want
yeah,
as I said before, this is the one time I really don't want to go on a tangent because if I stay up until Secret of the Mech comes out, I've lost sleep for the next few days without sleeping for the first time. So it's I really won't
yeah.
want
And
to lose track too
I've
much.
seen you pull, and I've seen you pull words honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, Academy Pocket's log road. On a service level, I thought that's obviously the Pizzaplex version, but the fact that Jacko Moon is here makes me think this is a full fest thing. Especially considering that the other full fest level is Carousel, which is the only other level that's in Ticket Booth. And if you think about it, the whole section is called Ticket Booth. There's no ticket things in the Pizzaplex. That's full fest. And another thing to hit this all hammered over the head. How can this possibly be the Pizzaplex version of the log ride if Ruin explicitly states that the log ride never got finished? So
Mm.
it literally, despite the fact that it feels like it's an obvious connection because I specifically picked a log ride right after Ruin also showed off log ride, that's a red herring. I think there's a lot of things pointing to this being Full Fest. And as we know, Full Fest is carnival imagery, and as we know, Secret of the Mimic is the carnival game. So I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's appearing in the game. And I think we'll finally get to see what Jacko's son is. Um, Maybe even what we might even see the log ride, honestly. Other thing, carousel. The carousel's the other level that I forgot about.
Oh yeah, that one has to be a level 100%.
That's full first, and there's absolutely just no debate. It's also part of like my big evidence for like the Jackos being from that time period as well, as because like carousel is just so undebatably from that time period, which means log ride must also be to have the same character. So
But also, will that mean that we will also explore outside the factory for a bit after we end it?
that
So we can see,
image, that
the
that image you spoiled to me was already outside, was it not?
yeah, but it was just entering the factory, and the only teaser at least from what I saw, was on the trailer where we were on the roof.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if we
Okay.
I don't
Here's
know if
my
we
take.
will. Sure.
We are not going to full fist in this game. I think that will be saved for like FNAF 12 or something, if we ever go there at all. I think Murray's costume manor has things that will be used at full fist.
Hmm,
I don't think
that
it's
could make sense.
yeah, because things like it has the carnival games, which is what I was talking about when I had like Carney and stuff, and like the Fazer Blast levels are also very obviously from full fist, and yet we see from the Epic Games Store achievements that that ball game that you play with Carney in Help Wanted 2 is in Secret of the Mimic, like that it just is confirmed. So clearly some of this Carnival Full Fest stuff, even though this isn't at Full Fest, I feel confident, very confident in saying the Full Fest stuff is here and is playable in some capacity, at least some of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
What all? I think that's everything
Yeah.
Help Wanted 2. Because I covered the Dolly, I covered the Buzzer Blast, I covered Mr. Hippo, I covered the Ticket Booth levels. Yep. And I covered
Yeah,
1970.
that's
Yep. Help Wanted 2 did a
yeah.
lot for
Also,
this.
yeah, it had a small update, but it also helped. Did
Fuck.
you? Yeah, you also mentioned Mystic Hippo, right?
Yeah, I just realized I forgot the update again. All of this talk has been base game.
Oh,
Oh no. Yeah, I should talk about the
yeah,
update.
the update actually added the tiger and such.
Yeah, okay. The update. What do I talk about the update? I mean, Tiger plush. Tiger's already been teased. We've seen Tiger in the images later on. 1979, which we already knew. Um, actually, did the update really reveal that much that was new? Because it hinted at Nexus, but I'm going to be totally honest, I think Nexus being in this game was kind of given from another interview. Which, I mean, that's something I should bring up, though I haven't brought that up yet, but yeah, Nexus is almost, no, it is definitely going to be explained in this game. Right.
Mm. Yes, it
Nexus.
looks like a counter algorithm that probably if Gregory repurposed in help on in the Ruin update to imprison the mimic, or maybe it was Edwin who imprisoned him with Nexus.
Yeah, Edwin working on Nexus would be great. I love that. Imagine the
Hmm.
M stood for Murray. And it was
Oh,
never a Mimic exclusive thing to begin with, it was just a Murray creation.
hmm. That
But
makes
yeah,
sense.
then again, there's no Murray's label on this. The logo wasn't here, so I don't know. Then again, it's not the logo's not on everything. We see a mascot suits everywhere in Secret of the Mimic, and it's not like it's on all of them, so I guess it doesn't mean anything.
Hmm.
The Nexus, no matter what, though, is relevant to this game, just undebatably. Like that's the ending that of the teaser was you have a van driving off with Nexus. Um, actually, you would know the answer to this question, actually, because you saw the gameplay footage that I'm gonna ask you to not spoil, but I will ask specific questions on.
I,
Um,
and I saw the Doko didn't go that far. I just saw like the first half an hour of the game. But
yeah,
I was satisfied. I don't know why people were criticizing it.
yeah, uh, yeah. I've definitely heard some bad things about it, but I mean, I don't care. It looks amazing to me so far from the promo material, so I'll make my own opinions. FNaF fans have said plenty of things are shit that I loved, so I mean, I don't care. um. Oh, that's the other thing. I wanted to. It's not just Nexus. When you activate Nexus, you have to enter in the code 4625, and that code has reappeared in marketing material multiple times. We've seen that
Mm.
code a bunch of times now, so I think it's it's a very important code. I think whenever we have the chance in Secret of the MUCH to enter any type of code anywhere, we should try 4625. And I mean
Oh,
anywhere. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. We're gonna plug that shit into wall tiles.
well, in fact, there was a code to a door that needed a code that Doko didn't completely unlock, but it seemed like you could come back there because most other doors were locked, with the fast branch mechanic of upgrading it. So maybe the code is meant to be used there.
Not at the start of the... No way. No way at the start of the game. No
It was a
way.
start, but also a zone that you will clearly come back to because you had to unlock more of the fast branch upgrades.
Oh, could you not actually do it until you upgrade the Dart Diver?
Maybe not. I'm not sure right now.
All I'm fairly confident in is 4625 is such an important thing. I really highly doubt it's just something you can access right at the start. It feels... It, I just doubt it, personally. I mean, if it is, then sure, I'll find it instantly if it is. It feels too important for such an early thing. It's just my thoughts. Uh, Speaking of, the other thing in Help 102 is update. Murray's costume manor specifically has a gift box entrance. Now I have seen other things spoiled for me. That gift box entrance is not the entrance to the game. um, the gift shop must be a separate thing. I think in the from what I've heard, I think the game looks like it takes place in the factory behind the gift shop. Will I even? I bring up an image, but I don't think I'll be able to find it because it's a weird specific thing. I don't think people have made easy to find.
Hmm.
But the gift shop entrance and the factory entrance, I believe, are two separate areas. And I am very confident in saying that the game that we play through will be in the factory and not the gift shop. But I do think there will be times that we can go to the gift shop. So I don't think it's misinformation, like I've seen some people online say. But it's definitely not the front of the area we go to, which was what was implied by Hop 102. At least what was originally my thoughts when I first saw it. Um,
Yeah, it seemed like at least we start entering the gift shop and entrance, but then we go off track.
all right. Um,
So, I mean, yeah, I don't want to spoil much, but I also
yeah,
don't know much.
I appreciate you not. I appreciate you just keeping quiet on that.
I mean, I haven't seen the Secret of the Mimic yet, so
Yeah, thankfully, thank God they only allowed YouTubers to upload a part one. Um, anyways,
yeah, honestly, incredible move from Doc in that respect.
yeah, I think because I think all YouTubers only uploaded a part one. I think it was something Steelable specifically asked for. Um, I wanted to continue on.
That makes sense. They give them an early access, but they don't want to spoil the fun for the rest of the fans.
Yeah. So there was only one other thing in the Hop 102 teaser update. The van. The blue van. The van that we obviously drive in Secret of the Mimic. Now, this was a question I was going to ask you, but we went off track, which is something I was trying not to do, but we did. Mexus is obviously not there right in the start of the game, is it? I feel like I would have heard about it. I feel like that would have been one of the things that would have been already spoiled for me if it was. You haven't seen Mexus yet, have you?
Hold on, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear who were you asking for.
Oh, I was saying that you haven't seen Mexus yet in Secret of the Mimic yet, right?
And unless he's on a different form, no.
Yeah. So basically, in the Secret of the Mimic teaser update for 1.2, you saw the blue van, which is I think is pretty obviously our van from Secret of the Mimic, but
Yeah,
with Nexus inside, which means one of two things. One, we drive up to the place with Nexus and we're in some way utilizing Nexus from the start of the game, or two, we leave the place with Nexus and we steal it. So the fact that Nexus hasn't already been like, I haven't heard, like, I think if it was the first one, I would have heard about it. Because it feels like such a big deal. If Nexus was such a central
yeah.
thing right from the start, I feel like I would have heard about it from spoilers. I haven't. Which means it's almost definitely the latter. That we steal Nexus from Murray's costume manor, which also adds to the evidence that Murray must have made this. Edwin Murray must have made Nexus. I
Yeah,
think.
I can see Murray making him.
It also
But
makes you.
also,
Yep, sorry.
yeah, the question is, will we, the player, and the fact, actually, I don't think that we know his name yet. The employer that we play as, but at least in the intro, he mentions that he
Keep
was
quiet,
coming
keep
back.
quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet.
And it's not a big spoiler.
Yeah,
It's
about to say
just that
no,
that's when the name explicitly.
don't give any context about our player character, please, I'm begging you.
Okay.
That is
But I
something
just
that's
want to
important to
say,
me.
I, I just want to say that it's probably that the player just um, takes Mexes in a way of, how do I say, protest. He doesn't like working for the Fast Entertainment,
I mean, I'm not surprised.
and it shows. Yeah, no Ralph.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think we steal this. The question for me right now is what the fuck did Edwin make Mexus for? Because here's the thing.
Mm.
If it was specifically for stopping the Mimic, why is the Mimic not stopped already? Because if we're stealing Mexus from Murray's costume manor, that means Mexus is already in Murray's costume manor, which means Edwin's already made Mexus. So if Mexus is already there, in place, in this game, then if it's there to stop the Mimic, why is the Mimic not stopped? And the only thing I can think of is there's a couple of things I'm thinking of here. One of which is maybe it was repurposed later to do that, and it had a different purpose early on, which is something I theorized on in an earlier video.
Yeah, Edwin has already had already repurposed some code to make the mimic. I can see him repurposing some other code to make messes. Nexus.
yeah. And the other possibility is that maybe we don't steal Nexus. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe we build Nexus at Murray's Costume Manor. Maybe it's already like, or maybe it's a work in progress that Edward started, but that's also the other possibility is that we use the materials at Murray's Costume Manor to build this. Because remember that one of the data diver roles is creator. So there is a
Oh
role
yeah,
we'll be able to get that lets us create things in some way.
that's true. I was just thinking it would be used to unlock doors, but he and giving you even extra privileges would make sense, especially as secret.
Yeah, well, I will get to the data diver later. I have a lot to comment on that I don't want to go on that tangent right now for formatting reasons. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. So I think now I've finally finished Top 1 and 2. Now that I've remembered the teaser update, finally.
Hmm.
Oh man, I was terrible at that. So that's quite a lot of things. This is definitely the thing I'm gonna have to try. Top 1 and 2 is definitely what I'm gonna have to try and keep in my mind most. Because it's definitely the most subtle teaser for Secret of the Mimic. Because it's just carnival imagery. But it's also
Hmm.
very notable, I think, and something I should definitely be keeping in the back of my mind. Like Carney, Mystic Hippo, uh, Jacko Moon.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'll try and consciously remember.
So come to think of it, what was the deal with Clips? That weird transformation between the two in Ruin.
That it's
When
right. That's
yeah,
so weird because Cassie just reboots it and it turns out like that. Obviously, it's so strange. Eclipse is strange because I want to say that,
it's
oh,
like
it's maybe the daycare attendant but functioning how it's intended to. But that's just not true because it's intended to be two different personalities. That's why it's like that. So, what?
yeah, and Sun speaks to us saying thank you to Cassie after we transform him into Eclipse. So he's not fully gone.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to think about Eclipse right now. That feels like a later timeline problem.
I'm
I
just
don't.
saying that maybe if we don't see Jacko Moon, but rather Eclipse, something.
That would be interesting. I doubt it. I think we'll see a Jacko son. Oh no, I just realized. No, this doesn't make sense. Maybe the Jackos are too early in the timeline for this, now that I really think about it. Because Jacko Bonnie, Jacko Chico, they shouldn't exist until after Freddy's cast is more established, and they aren't really established yet. So, I think they're full fist 1983. Then again, the daycare attendant is probably earlier and usually isn't actually grouped up with them, so maybe we'll. I don't know. It's something I'll just keep in mind and see if it does and doesn't happen. Um, anyway, I'm gonna move on because I've now made it through only a few things. Uh, gameplay trailer. I think I already talked about the gameplay trailer. Edward Murray went missing. Mimic. Not much to say. It looked cool. There's puzzles. Game looked good. Uh, PSVR went down.
Yeah,
Then a clip was
yeah.
basically nothing.
I would like to say I don't want to spoil anything, but honestly, I don't know that much, anyways.
Let's check the Steam page. Some of these screenshots. Actually, these aren't interesting because you'll just see these in the game. These aren't things we need to keep in mind pre-release, I don't think. It's just cool to see what the game looks like. No, I don't think there's anything super interesting here. I mean, there was stuff interesting to theorize on earlier on, but... Oh, okay, no, now's the time to talk about the Data Diver, actually. And, like, Helper and stuff. I think now's the time to talk about that. The data diver. Let's actually go to the teaser images for this. Yeah. Is there anything interesting? Yeah.
Actually, I should be watching your stream instead of just relying on your voice.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, actually, I got a question for you. Do you think our player character is going to lose a hand?
Why specifically a hand?
Because there's a lot of imagery of losing hands in the marketing material. There's multiple
Oh,
posters.
that's true.
There's yeah, there's this one. There's things in the background you see in the trailer. There's just it's not a lot of things, but it's still a weird amount of things representing it. There's like the arm being crushed from PAX West. Like this, it's not a lot. But there's a few. No, in Help Wanted 2, in PAX West there was literally a severed hand as a decoration piece. It's like it's gotta be
Oh, that's true.
something.
That's weird. It was really weird that it was specifically a statue. You could see it everywhere. At least in important places.
Yeah, I just now remembered it. I completely forgot about it until now. I'm really happy I brought it up because I was originally just going to move past it because I didn't think we were going to lose a hand. But now that I've brought it up, again, I'm really happy I'm doing this stream. This really is helping a lot to get my thoughts together. We are totally
Good
losing our
enough.
fucking hand. We're losing it, aren't we? Because there is no reason why a piece of this marketing material will be a severed hand and have posters teasing the game which show injured hands, multiple posters.
Also,
It's gonna
come to think
happen.
of it, but the poster specifically says limbs replaced at employee's expense. So, but maybe it's something that you can maybe create an artificial hand to replace it, maybe like an employee hand.
I've heard that idea.
With the creator.
It isn't the first time I've heard that theory, but I mostly heard that theory because people thought Dolly was going to heal us, and I think we can confidently say that's not going to happen after the recent gameplay stuff.
True,
I think
but also the
I think Dolly being good
eternal the
is more is
but
almost as
eternal
cooked as she is.
also Dolly was definitely the mimic at that point, right?
I think they're all mimic.
Yeah, especially since we know from the teasers that the mimic is supposed to be able to shape shift his form to just adapt to any endoskeleton that he needs.
Yeah, I remember before this game came out, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he couldn't be freaking Music Man. He couldn't be Jackie. Jackie's missing her legs. Music Man's really big. It surely can't be these things." And it's like, guys, the Mimic's entire thing in the books is it can shapeshift and copy things to become anybody. And we literally
Yeah,
see
he
it
mimics.
become a spider thing. Like, Mimic
Yeah,
absolutely can
and really
become this
funny
thing.
about the Jack. Yeah, and really funny about the Jack part because the mimic wasn't supposed to have a lower half at the start.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that really triggered a few people on it too, because Jackie doesn't have her lower half, but Mimic should at this point in the story. So I think that's another thing people were like, oh, it's not right. It's like, guys, I'm certain that Mimic can just retract its legs. Like, it's clearly retracting major parts of its body if it can, like, become shit like this. So, is it really that out of the question? Like, we see this shit in the books even before this was revealed. So, it's, yeah, like, I think everything's the Mimic. If either everything's the Mimic, or at the very, very least, the Mimic has corrupted everything. Like,
Imagine if so all of a sudden in the middle of the game, uh, Edwin starts talking to us, and we suddenly realize it was actually the mimic.
I would love that. I really want Mimic to speak in like Edwin and David and Fiona's voice. That would be so peak. Imagine
I mean,
playing
don't
Secret of
you
the
know
Mimic.
that?
Ooh,
Yeah, I
yes,
was going to say, don't the credits for the voice actors reveal that we were having the entire Murray family?
yeah, and Jim accidentally literally revealed that he's Edwin. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's borderline. It's basically confirmed. These are the Murray family. Jim Meskimen's
yeah,
Edwin, and Taylor Meskimen's David, and Tamara is Fiona.
yeah, a small spoiler. There is a
No,
small recording.
no, don't. I know you really want to spoil parts of this game, but I'm begging you, please don't.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say he fits the role.
uh, don't talk. If I heard audio recording, that's all I needed to know that you needed to stop talking.
Okay, I want to spoil where or when. Yes, I like him.
I, thankfully, I could already assume that, but I'm still. I know you're really itching to talk about this game. Leave me a
Yeah,
little bit
I mean,
longer,
and it
just a
was
little
just for
bit.
the first half hour. I don't know much. But, probably you probably know more than me just from teasers and all of these previous analysis.
Yeah, I can probably guess most of that first hour reveals from just me being decently good at theorizing, but I don't want to be confirmed on anything. I don't want to know I'm right before the game comes out.
Of course, I can respect that.
Which is why I avoided watching the footage, because it's like I don't want to know what that intro is. I don't want to know who our character is. Um, I mean, I got spoiled into who our character is slightly, and all my theories are correct. Hello, but
Yeah, I just want to. I try not to spoil much, but I had to reveal where you were right with the
yeah,
data such.
audio recording. I'm not surprised. I pretty much expected it, to be honest. But yeah, it's um. Oh, this poor person in chat thought that I got the game early and was like showing it off now. Oh, they thought it was out, but I'm sorry. I don't have the game early. It's not out. Um, it comes out in 2 hours though. Oh shit, I've already been talking an hour. Oh no. Oh, actually,
I mean,
no,
I,
I'm halfway through actually. This is actually good pace for me.
I mean, yeah. I also don't want you to just stay an all-nighter without sleeping, but you probably want to at least see the start.
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that I'd start losing energy in this stream. I'm becoming more fucking awake. Just everything about this
Yeah,
game hypes me up so much that looking over this
keeping you
again,
awake.
I don't think there's any chance I'm sleeping tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, whatever. I'll try. I'll try.
I mean, and honestly, understandable. The game looks really good.
It does, and I'll show that off when we get to the gameplay footage later, because I'm sure the people in chat, there's things that I'm showing off now, talking about now, that I'm sure not everyone knows about, and there's some of the recent teasers especially, I think people are really going to want to see. The game looks amazing, just as a heads up. Um, but yes, actually, I do want to talk about the voice actors. Andy Field, he voices who I'm going to assume is Ron. Now, I have been spoiled slightly, because I think I asked you the question directly. The game does not tell you the name of the character he voices, but in the books, this guy I'm pretty sure is named Ron. If assuming it's the same character. So I am going to
Yeah,
go
I
in
can see
assuming
that.
it's Ron. Um ooh, hey, Super Sega, your name is too long. Super Sega Bros Zonic and Jadar. You actually subscribed. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, if you stick around for another few hours, I'll probably play it. Anyway, uh
Yeah, my idea was to just go to the library to study for a bit. But I can wait for a bit.
yeah, I'm happy you came on, even if just for a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah.
However long you stay on makes this more fun for me. Even if I do try and speed through it, and us together are terrible at speeding through things. Like I'm sure you can tell that I keep saying, "Come on, I need to move on. I really want to move on." I'm
And
sorry.
understandable.
I'm sorry. It's just I got to get my thoughts together, and it's like I gotta. Oh man, this game's exciting. Kellen, I have been spoiled slightly. Can you confirm or deny this? Um, is our player
On what?
character voiced by Kellen Goff?
Honestly, I think it's him.
I've heard a lot of
Only
people say it is.
I think so. His voice sounds similar. He voices a lot of anime dubs too, so I think it was him.
Yeah, if it is, that's really, really cool. But also, I have a slight dread for that because there's a non-zero chance that that means this guy voices like 3 characters in this game.
That's
Because
true.
outside of
That's the
Kellen,
voice of NAF at this point.
yeah, because not only that, but as I was talking about earlier, like I'm pretty confident like the daycare attendant or precursor to who I'm going to call the theater performer is going to be in this game.
Hmm,
Yeah, even if it's like the
that's
Jacko
true.
version or whatever. And if it's the daycare attendant, I'm like 100% confident he'd return to reprise that role. I don't think
Yeah,
they get a
I
new voice
forgot
actor.
that he also voiced Sun, Moon, and such.
Yep, he voiced all of them. So he voiced Sun, Moon, Eclipse, Jacko Moon, all forms voiced by him.
By the way, I don't know about this. I just want to say this as a theory. Do you think he's still our protagonist? Is still Jeremy? Do you think there's a chance for that?
No.
No.
I believe that our player character is just some random guy. Um, the fact that we're only one guy sent in makes me think we're someone important, but I don't think we're someone important to the story. We're probably just a pretty goated employee. That's probably all I've got.
I just really it's really on the first minute, but it's really revealed why we're there.
You gotta, okay, so don't reveal anything if it confirms or deconfirms my theories there. I really want to learn the protagonist myself. It's the characters are like the closest thing to me, so as much as it hurts, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to remain silent.
Okay, okay. But I want to say it's technically important. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the third character, I
So
said, oh sorry.
no, yeah, you continue.
Yeah, so I thought he was gonna voice, I'm confident he'll voice a day character, theater performer. He apparently voices our player character, and in addition to all of that, I think this is going to be because Kellen Goff for a while now, in several interviews, I believe, has been saying that his number one character that he's wanted to voice most is some version of Helpy. And this game has at least 2 versions of Helpy. At least, and
Oh
one of
yeah,
them, one of
what were
them
the
has, one of them
helpers?
has a button, I believe, that lets you hear their voice. He's totally gonna voice Mr. Helpful, or some version of Helpy in this
That would
game.
make yeah, that would make a lot of sense. We've seen one at least on the trailer. And
Yeah.
maybe or maybe not. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe we have seen one already in the first half an hour of the game.
Oh, is that you saying you already know the answer?
No. Let's
Oh,
really try, man.
you're doing great. You're doing great. Um, I don't know if I would be able to shut up in this situation.
I, I don't know much, but I don't want to spoil the little I know.
Yeah, you're sitting here thinking, I don't know much, and then you're hearing my theories and are like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's stuff like in Deltarune Chapter 2 that people were theorizing stuff, and basically everything was half of it was being is proven in the first 15 minutes, and the rest was just proven during the chapter itself. It was really funny.
I am willing to take a very quick detour here because I do actually want to talk about this Deltarune. I'm sorry, I know I said I would, but I didn't end up getting around to playing Chapter 3 today because I fell asleep and slept through half the day.
Yeah, and it's important that you had energy for today.
Holy shit, I
That's
just
nice.
realized. That means I technically did sleep today. Ooh, that means I can legally stay up till 3 a.m. to play Secret of the Mimic.
I don't think there's a law for it, but at least you're not going to die at the end of playing the
Oh
Secrets of the Mimic.
man, that I fear this game because this game's going to be so long. How many sleepless nights will I have playing this peak? Oh man. But alright, killing off. I feel like even if it's not one of the ones we see in the trailer, even if it's not Mr. Hopeful or whatever, I feel like he will voice a version of Holtby. I feel confident that they'll eventually give him that role because that's his most wanted role. And this game at least has two. I'm gonna guess it might even have more. So I'm willing to bet. Maybe not bet. I'm not willing to bet, but I would not be surprised if he voiced all three. And now we can move on from characters that don't have you screaming internally wanting to speak. Heather Masters. I believe she voices Dolly, the carnival nurse, because she voices the carnival nurse in
Hmm.
Hellpointed 2, and I'm very confident that Dolly is that carnival nurse, as I said earlier. So I think that there's no
I'm
theorizing there, that's who she voices moving on.
okay. I'm thinking about it. By the carnival nurse, you refer to the minigame where you have to stuff and you have to help it, right?
Yeah, it's a minigame where you get to grab a hacksaw and saw his leg off. Really
Ah, yeah, that would be fun,
fuck pinged
especially
me.
on Markiplier's playthrough. I was really enjoying it.
You know, I just realized I probably shouldn't check my Discord messages just in case. On stream, this is being recorded. Anyway, um, Marta Svedek.
Hmm.
She voices so many characters. She has a really good voice range, actually. Like, she voices Gregory, she voices Vanny, she voices Roxy. I'm gonna
Oh damn.
take a gamble and say she either voices someone I don't know, but considering how this promotional material has been, I'm gonna guess it's just she does voice someone we know, and I'm gonna take the bet that I think she voices Jackie.
Hmm.
Because
Oh yeah, that could be a good choice.
Jackie's voice direction is so deranged that people thought it was Kellen, but it's obviously a feminine voice. So they've somehow
Yeah,
grabbed just
I
an
mean,
absolutely
Kellen has a voice range, but not that deep. That high voice.
yeah, no, he doesn't he's not doing women voices. He does
Right.
monster voices. Oh. Oh, and I guess
Yeah,
tiny little guys named Helpy. He probably does them too.
that's true. Yeah, I can get behind that.
He reminds me of that one meme where it's like a voice actor voices like um Edge Lord dude and fish.
100%. Just Diabolo, Funtime Freddy.
They're both Edge Lord. They're like basically the same character in my eyes.
That's true. And Bonnie is W, of course.
Oh my god, you're right.
Bonbon, I mean.
Oh man. Look, can JoJo's just become canon to Fires Freddy's? Please, we need Shadow Stand theory to be correct.
Honestly, I could see it. Honestly, imagine an arc where Yodio has to fight a guy with a stand similar to Women Rhapsody, where he brings video game characters and he has to fight very fast. And all of the time he's, oh, Sholera, she looks pretty fast. For.
I
Pure brain
hate
rot.
I hate what you just said so much for one specific reason. Bohemian Rhapsody exists, so it's genuinely possible.
Oh yeah,
And
but come to think of it, it only brought comic and you know manga and animated cartoons. It didn't bring back video game characters, at least
it's
from what I recall.
it's because Araki doesn't really follow video games. That's kind of like the one reason why we won't see video game characters in JoJo is because Araki doesn't really care about games. Um, he
Yeah,
played some of the JoJo's games,
that
I
can make sense.
believe, but yeah, I think he's commented saying that even though he's played them, he doesn't really involve himself too much in that. He's not a gamer. But I mean, it's really cool that he's allowed people to make games of his work, though. Like, Araki's super chill. Anyway, this
Yeah,
is a tangent. This is a tangent. We should. I'm gonna try and pull us back.
that's true.
Um,
Not JoJo games, FNaF games.
yeah. Marta Svedek. I think, considering her voice performance for Vanny, I think she could do Jackie. I think her going really deranged, and I think she
Hmm.
could do it. Maybe I'm very curious. Because like Jackie, whoever voices
Yeah,
Jackie is
I'm thinking
insane,
of Danny's voice. And honestly, I can see it.
right? It's such a she does it like kind of it. How does she like, does it with her throat, right? Because like you
Hmm.
always feel like she's It's such an interesting voice direction. It's no, she's not just saying it. Like when she's saying like, "Are you having fun yet?" She's not just saying, "Are you having fun yet?" It's like right from the back of the throat, some like kind of
You're
roughness in the
having
back.
fun.
There's a roughness in the back of her
Yeah.
throat as she says that, and it's like if she pushed that a little bit more and edited that a bit differently or something, I can 100% see that she could voice Jackie. I can see it. But if she does voice Jackie, I bet that's really pushing her because I think that would push anybody. Because Jackie's VA is just gotta be insane. Hang on, I want to check this. Someone actually pinged me. Um, oh man, this is just. Hang on, I want to tell this guy to join my stream.
Oh, I'm
He's
there.
he's one of my subscribers. Who's just like just DM'd me. So that's. It was
I'm speaking with you, but I'm also watching the stream. Just to follow the images you share.
yeah. We've already commented on the Mescaline family, by the way. They're obviously the Murray family. So moving past that, Jesus Christ, stop DMing me every time I. Hang on, I'm just gonna move this to my second monitor so I don't have to keep blacking out the screen. There. Now, next time I open Discord, your screen won't go black. Hooray! All right.
Perfect.
So, what else have we done? We've talked about the trailer. Have we talked about everything from the trailer? I think I should look over the trailer again. Because the trailer does have a lot to it. So I think I should just quickly run through that. I'm not going to fully watch it. I don't want to watch anything right now. Just want to quickly jump through. Like, there's our van. Now, the van, notably, is different from the one in Whole 2. Because the one in Whole 2 had a stripe down the side. And it said company logo here. So I think we can confidently say that the Whole 2 van is placeholder. Because
Yeah, that'll make sense.
I'm very confident that the in-world, that van that they showed off in-world, isn't actually supposed to say insert company here.
I mean, that will make for a kick-ass company.
Yeah, especially when the place where it does say that in this trailer now says Fazbear Entertainment. So it's like I'm confident. I'm confident this is the same van, even though there is some minor visual discrepancies. I just feel confident in that. Uh, oh yeah, the data
Yeah.
diver. Hang on. Okay, I want you to make this decision. Do we talk about the data diver next, or the freaking 10 million elephants this game has?
I think we should talk about the elephants in the room.
I think we should talk about the elephants in the room as well. I don't know if y'all have noticed, chat, but every time you see an elephant in the marketing material, half the time it's a different freaking elephant. And it's got different clothes on. Look, red and yellow outfit. Let's skip forward a little bit. The ruined one is this one, the white and green outfit. Now let's skip forward a little more. White and blue outfit.
There's like a million elephants, and yet we have never seen an elephant animatronic aside Orville.
And I'm pretty sure this elephant's a slightly different one again. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is the red and yellow one from the start, just with different lighting. I actually think it is now I think about it.
Yeah.
But
My idea is that with so many costumes, you won't know when the mimic is using one and waiting there to lure your guard down to get you.
oh yeah, I think the mimic over the course of the game. I'm mixed. On one hand, as I said earlier, I think the mimic is going to wear. I think the mimic is all these characters. Like I think Jackie makes that really obvious because you can really see the mimic's eyes in Jackie. So I feel confident in saying the mimic is every character we see. However, mimic, I think, has also got to be these characters, these mascots. So I think how it will work is depending on where you are in the game, there'll be specific sequence when they're the animatronics like Dolly or Jackie and Maestro Music Man. But then there'll also be times in between where Mimic will wear random costumes of just the random mascots lying around. I think that's how it will work. Because evidently, he's also randomized costumes because he's the mushroom, and the mycelium man is not that important. uh, and the tiger is important, but in an in-world perspective, it is just another random costume. And like the
Well,
Freddy and Kerr.
we never got to read the story with the tiger to know, honestly, at least for me.
Oh yeah, I am way ahead of myself here. There's something I forgot to mention earlier. So we've discussed the elephants and how there's three of them. I'm also going to quickly say there's like four mycelium men as well. So yeah, we're going to be
Yeah, and
seeing.
remember that you can. Murray was offering all of his animatronics for rent or purchase, so it makes sense that there are more than one version for each,
Yeah.
at least for the costume.
There's also, I actually really like that there's also various companies from this. I know a lot of people, I saw for some reason, a lot of people were actually quite upset about that it was not a Fazbear Entertainment thing. But like, I kind of like that. I like that we're finally not at Fazbear Entertainment. I like that we're seeing something new that's just only connected to Fazbear Entertainment. I think it's really unique, and I think because of that, this game will have a lot of characters that we'll intentionally only see like once. And I think that's going to make the characters that appear in this game feel really special. So,
Hmm.
things like the Mycelium Men, those are clearly Murray characters, because we got the Murray's costume and archives of those. So, we know that some of these mascots are not even like from other companies, some of them are straight up for Murray. So the Mycelium Men is like a Mariko character. I'm willing to bet that the tiger is a Mariko character as well, just because of how important
Hmm.
the tiger is. Um, and also the Welcome Show. Where is the Welcome Show? The Welcome Show image. Here we go.
Yeah,
This
I
is
have seen that.
obviously, yeah, this is obviously for Mariko. Like these are characters with a show at Murray's Costume Manor. So
Hmm.
it's pretty obvious to me that these are for this location and aren't from another company. But then there's also other characters like Swingbee. Swingbee Honey is obviously a honey company that wants their mascot. So there are a combination of a bunch of things here. There's Fazbear Entertainment characters, there's Murray's Costume Manor characters, there's characters from other companies like Swingbee Honey. It's a mixture of a lot of things because this is just, I mean, it's Murray's Costume Manor. It's, I think it's really interesting. I really love the location. It sold me.
Yeah, it sounds like the factory is really complex, especially from what we read at the in the book that it was basically run down and not that explored.
Yeah, as I've
The,
heard from spoilers, I think something I've gotten spoiled on a little bit. That I actually should do when I talk about right now. Um, Apparently, the books being canon to the games is borderline debunked now. Apparently, there's just barely. Apparently, even from the first hour of the game, apparently that theory is just shot down, just shot dead.
I mean,
So
I showed you some details like the the mimic having some legs where he shouldn't have. But I wasn't expecting the entire books to be not non-canon at this point.
yeah, I don't know exactly the specifics because I'm just hearing this from other people. For all I know, it could just be people dooming over minor inconsistencies. Like I remember people were saying the books were non-canon when they saw like the mannequins because it said the mannequins like were from 1972, even though later on we got to see a full image of them, and the mannequins are from 1979, and 1972 was just where the measurement system came from. So there's a non-zero chance of people just dooming over stuff they don't understand yet. And so I'm going to go in with the same assumption. I mean, the book's canonicity doesn't bother me at all because my interpretation, as you know, but people watching this probably don't know because I admittedly have tried to dodge around the books debate. I've tried not to talk about it much because it's such a big. It's just kind of miserable. Everyone talking about it on all sides of the debate are really miserable about it on all sides. It's just such a big problem that I've tried to avoid talking about it publicly. But just for the context, my stance in the books for a long while now has been that I I don't even think about the canonicity. I just think this info from the books, as Scott Cawthon has said, is intended to be used to solve the games. They are intended to be used to fill in blanks. That is something Scott has explicitly stated, and that can be true even if they're non-canon. So here, how I've taken the books is I just put them in, and I assume they're canon. But if a game comes out and contradicts details, the games take priority. But if the game doesn't, if the game contradicts some details and doesn't contradict others, then the game takes priority, but the books fill in the gaps that the games still don't fill in. So I purely use the books just to fill in blanks as a placeholder canon, and I think that's my way of taking them.
Yeah, it's probably the healthiest approach to the books.
Yeah. Because I just feel like the idea that they're 100% canon 1-to-1 is just factually wrong.
And this is the FNaF we are talking about. Even if they were 100% canon, there will be a lot of details that would get lost or retcon.
Right? Like, look at Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It presumably takes place in summer, but then at the end of the game it takes place in November. So, like... like, the Five Nights at Freddy's, even from the very beginning, wasn't the most consistent franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, inconsistencies will happen even if they're supposed to be canon. So the fact that we don't know whether they're canon is just a big layer of ambiguity. And I think what matters at this point, because we don't have the answer on the canonicity, all that matters is, to me, is what carries over. And to me, it's everything that doesn't contradict, just assume it carries over until something contradicts it. It's an ongoing story, right? So you just expect things to develop differently as originally portrayed. And it's not like it's not a retcon or anything, it's just how the story is told. Because the Mimic story, as we heard from Steelwood Studios, they were actually developing this game the same time the books were coming out. They were doing it alongside of it. And they were working with Scott.
On one of the interviews, right?
Yeah, they confirmed it in an interview. So that means, in my opinion, the Mimic story acts as like a teaser and context for this game, but they've intentionally left stuff out or left stuff ambiguous so that this game could do the full reveals. So in that sense, I think there'll be a lot of times in that book, this game will contradict it because that book was intentionally misleading because it was just a placeholder. Here's a rough what the Mimic story is before it gets fully explained later. So I am not surprised that this game would have heavy contradictions. Not even slightly. But I really hope that people don't throw away everything just because it's non-canon. Because if you look at the novel trilogy, they will, but I'm not going to, and I think it's silly. if you look at the novel trilogy, right, the novel trilogy we know is non-canon, and yet there's still very obvious things that carry over. So,
it's still hard to believe that we haven't seen Charles being named in the games, only in the book trilogy.
Right? Like, fucking Edwin Murray is more of a games character than Charlotte Emily, and that's just such a deranged thing to remember. It still throws me. I've told you this, and we have both told this to each other constantly for years now. It still, to date, shocks me every time I hear it. It's like, what the fuck do you mean that Charlotte Emily has never been alluded to in the games? That's a book-only thing from a non-canon, definitively non-canon book series.
It's really fun. It's only a FNaF, really.
Yeah, so the books, even if they're confirmed non-canon, things still carry over. You're still supposed to use some details. I'm not going to throw away everything just because things contradict. Yeah, the games take priority. That's it. That's my stance. So ultimately, I don't care. All my theories are correct. Hello. The Child Channel says that I'm gonna be so angry if the Mimic is in the box. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not.
only Jackie can be in a box.
Look, here's the thing about the box. The box never went anywhere. It never actually meant anything. It was part of a story that never really happened. Scott put it there to expand on later, most likely when he was originally intending to conclude the original games. So most likely in the Halloween update to Five Nights at Freddy's 4 or Five Nights at Freddy's World, he was going to open that box, and that's when he was going to decide what was in it and finish it. He never did that though. He instead extended the story. So because of that, the box got left behind. And he's pretty much confirmed that in an interview that the box is basically a dropped plot point now. So if they say that the Mimic is in the box, sure, that is obviously not the original intent. But there is no intent right now. So I take the Mimic over nothing. if they find a way to make it compelling that the Mimic is in that box, I'm taking it. I don't care if it's not the original intent. It's an ongoing story. It's not supposed to be fully planned out like that. It's forever ongoing. So, uh,
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the box should just be left alone at this point, at least for me.
that's fair. It says some things are best left forgotten for now. I think it's kind of poetic that it did get forgotten. Oh.
Yeah, I want to speak more about Delphine because it reminds me of something that happened with the character Mike in chapters 3 and 4. That honestly, it pissed me off a little. But yeah, you haven't
Yeah,
played. When you played,
you've been telling me you want to vent about that for a while now. I'm sorry.
yeah, because honestly, it's the first time that I feel like Toby Fox has pulled a Scott Cop. Because, in a bad way.
I'll see it when I see it. Actually, I might not, because it'll probably be a secret somewhere. Whatever.
Well,
Is it?
honestly, you're supposed to unlock a door with a code that I still don't know where it was supposed to be found. I just saw someone posting it.
Yeah. Look, after all this secret the mix stuff is over, I promise I'll eventually get back to finishing Delta Rune.
No hurry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm also
sorry.
quite busy with. I'm busy with life too. I'm also working on the later stages for the Peter Recon video.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I hope we can get that done this month or the next.
Yep. So,
But yeah, coming back to Secret of the Mimic.
you got
Any last minute predictions?
several things. We've still got a whole paragraph of stuff to talk about, but you probably won't have that much time. uh, the
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
I should be studying, but I can spend some time here. I don't mind.
yeah, the next one's actually a juicy one, so I think you should stick around for this. The Data Diver. By far, the coolest thing about this game to me so far, because it's gameplay. Oh, the Data Diver is so interesting to me. Actually, let's get to the screen that actually shows the Data Diver. What am I doing, bro? There it is. Hi, helper. Hi. This
Missed.
single scene, just this scene as a whole, after the tiger, go away. The tiger, you're cool and all, but you're nothing.
Hold on. You're still getting to that part in the stream. Yeah.
Oh man, it's just my favorite part of this trailer, and today is just the most interesting thing is that Data Diver. So, first things first, let's just say the obvious. Just because it was pretty much confirmed by this image. I already had this theory before, but this image made, as I keep saying, all my theories are correct. Hello.
But honestly, basically from what I've seen, yes.
Yeah, basically, you collect rolls over the course of the game, and you can basically choose the role before you go in, and it gives you access to different stuff. And I assume each role will have a different gameplay mechanic, purely because I think it would be really dumb if security didn't make you play FNAF style of games. Like, I think that's a no-brainer. So if security has
Yeah.
its own gameplay mechanic tied to it, then I feel pretty confident that all the others will as well. It just feels obvious to me. The only exception will be if it's not a case of choosing one, but instead just an upgrade over time and you end up getting all of them all at once. I don't think that's the case though, because this scene here very clearly looks like a choose one. This is a thing where you put the data diver in and then you select stuff. Like, that's very obviously what this UI element is.
Yeah, it looks like the symbols, although I cannot see them that well. Yeah, I think there are 6 options, 6 modes in the data diver. Yeah, it makes sense.
I've actually spent the time trying to memorize what these are, what the symbols are, because I just really wanted to memorize it. The first one's basic, the next one's security. The third one is, I believe that's repair, that's the repair symbol. The one with the two boxes, creator. The weird squiggly line is admin. And of course, the Murray's Costume Matter logo is, of course, executive. Now, executive is the only one where I'm kind of like iffy on it having a gameplay mechanic, because I have a feeling that that one will just be basic, but you get to have access to really crazy lore reveals. So I think that one will be more so just miscellaneous crazy stuff, more than having its own dedicated thing. I think it being that unique final one is what makes it unique. Right, and they have, I think that, anyway. My only question is, who the fuck's gonna pick basic? No one, right? That's obviously just, you have that at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Son of God asked in chat, is the game going to be hard to beat? No. I am very confident that answer is going to be no from the interview. Because Evan Lampy, I believe. I forgot what his role in the company was. I should check. Evan Lampy Steel. What's his role? Creative director. Yeah. Game director. Well, I'm gonna assume game director because that's your current job title and your current LinkedIn. So, yeah, game director of Steelwood Studios had an interview with Dorker, and he said that the gameplay will be moderately challenging. Like, he kind of hesitated a little bit saying that, and I think it's because I feel like it's going to be easier than he's letting it on. I don't think moderately challenging is going to be that hard, because um, I think he just didn't want to say the game's going to be easy, because that's not a good look. No one wants to say this game is easy and won't challenge you. So I think I have a feeling this game's going to be not hard at all if you're just playing the surface level game. Now, he did say that the game is built in layers, and that's the top layer, just playing it through normally. He said that once you start going for secrets and alternate paths and doing other crazy things in the game, it's going to start expecting more from the player. So I think the main game is going to be pretty easy. Maybe hard, probably harder than Ruin, but because Ruin was real easy, and it looks harder than Ruin
Yeah,
already.
Ruin was basically a long path
Yeah, it was
without that many deviations.
Ruin was so easy that I almost wanted to say it didn't have gameplay, but it did have gameplay. It was just really easy gameplay. um, the but as for this game, I feel like this will definitely be harder than Ruin. I would expect to die a couple of times in this game, a good amount of times. I will expect times to challenge me, but that's because I'm terrible at video games, and especially puzzle games. And we do see in the trailer and in the Steam tags and other things, there are puzzles in this game. I suck so bad at puzzles. So doing that stuff, while there's potentially threats chasing me and stuff, I have full confidence I will die several times. But that's because I suck at games. And I still feel like I'll be able to get through it pretty easily. I think this will be, as I said, I think the game will be very harder than Ruin, but still easy. That's probably the verdict on that, but only if you're doing the surface level game. Once you go into secrets, it'll probably be genuinely challenging. very challenging because Five Nights at Freddy's secret challenges tend to be horrifically difficult. And even in some of the challenges in the Steel Wool games, some of those aren't easy. Um, some of them are, but I remember that Hellpointed 2 had a pretty good difficulty. Some of the levels in Hellpointed 2 were actually quite challenging. So, um, I think some of the secret paths will be comparison to that. I think, yeah, the secret paths will probably be difficult. But the main game, I think the average gamer should just be able to breeze through it. That's my prediction. It's also a very good question to ask because it's something that I'm going to it's actually something I wasn't going to talk about because there's no specific teaser referring to that. So I'm very happy you answered that question because that's a very interesting thing that I really want to talk about that I probably wouldn't have thought of talking about. So very much thank you for bringing that question up because that is an interesting topic. Frogger 25, I swear to God, have I heard of you before? Hang on. I'm just gonna check this. Hang on. I gotta check. No, I must be confusing you with someone else. Must be. I'm gonna beat the hardest version of this game. There might be some things you can change to make it hard like into it. That would be awesome, actually. If it's like Into the Pit, where it's got like customizable difficulty settings. I think that's one thing I really do want Steel Wool Studios to do, is to start taking inspiration from like the other developers of the franchises. I think that would be really, really smart move of them. I especially want them to take inspiration from things like, yeah, Into the Pit, as you said. That would be really good. I'd love that. I'd love a customization thing in the modern games. Um, yes,
Yeah,
great questions, great
I
topic.
remember about
Yep, go.
one fun game idea you had about with Mangle, where she would have a uh, different part each night because the kids would arrange her in a different way. I can see the mimic working like that. Maybe on different playthroughs, he uses a costume, but it's a different one. For example, he uses a different elephant costume, since we know there is more than one. It could be an interesting idea.
You heard of me before, trust me. I swear I do. You're right. You're right, Frogger 25. I know I've heard of you before. You're right. I'm looking you up. I tried to go to your channel and for some reason I think it didn't load properly. So when I went to your channel, it looked like a blank page. So I thought that you were like a nobody who just like took like someone else's name or something. Um, but no, that is your ID. I think it just failed to load. You're right. You're right. This is you. Holy shit. Hi, Frogger25. I didn't realize that was actually you. And I thought I was gaslighting myself into thinking you existed. Oh my god. Oh, you're right though. I have heard of you. I've actually watched your video. I've watched your videos before. I know I have. Apparently not some of your recent ones, but I yes. Hi. I'm sorry. This is probably one of the least graceful appearances you've had in a YouTube channel. I'm sure most people are like, no way, hi, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't think you exist. I did the same thing to Johnny Blocks once. I remember playing Pop Goes, I think, in a live stream, and Johnny Blocks came in. I was just sitting here like, whatever, it's probably not actually him. And then I realized, like, a good, like, 10 minutes later, I was like, wait, wait a minute. That's him. Look, when you're a really, really small channel, I just expect that no one finds me. So forgive me for the very forgive me
You
for the
have
very
300,
ungraceful
right? You still
entrances.
have something. It's a good number.
Yeah. Forgive me for the ungraceful entrances compared to other people. I just never believe it when cool people show up.
Keeping it humble.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure you know, like, people impersonate people all the time on the internet, right? So, like, is it really that out of the question? Uh, alright. So, what else? What else do I want to talk about? So, was there more in the trailer I wanted to talk about? Yes, right, I got sidetracked. I was talking about the data diver. Um, I want to talk about my predictions. on each functionality. So security is a no-brainer, right? Do I even need to say it? I think I said it earlier already, but do I really need to say what I think security is? I think we all know what security is gonna be. That's fine. I'm gonna do some stuff. Bye. Have a good stream. Yeah, thanks for popping in. And sending me this. That's so cool. I've got like I got 8 viewers. That's great for my channel. Oh,
That's pretty good.
all right. Repair. This is one I'm super hyped for because when I think of repair sections in Five Nights at Freddy's, they are all bangers.
Honestly, yeah, I think of the Help Wanted mini games. Those were really fun.
Right? I think of like the whole point of mini games. Sister Location Night 3, I want to say. I think it's 3. Um, Help Wanted 2 had cold storage, which kind of felt similar. Um, Roxy Repair didn't. It wasn't the same. Cold storage is like the repair level. um, and they're so good. So if repair is we stick our data diver, and if we have, I think we'll be able to stick our data diver into like animatronics around the place, and we might be able to interface with the animatronics, which would just be so awesome. And just get it on camera, security, obviously. You can monitor security footage. Cameras, pretty obvious, I think. I also think it's pretty obvious you'll be given security just near the start of the game. I don't think it'll take long to get it, because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. You're going to have security systems pretty early on, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, this may actually be the security batch level from Security Beach. Well done.
Yeah, just actually good. And with replayability instead, because I think you'll be able to replay it with different things. And even I think you won't even need to trial and error it, because in one playthrough, you'll see like which ones you'll need for that level, because you'll see the little icon. So you won't even need to like trial and error each one to see if you need it or not. You'll know. So it's
Yeah, I imagine that
replayability.
a second playthrough will involve um, how to skip some of those, maybe for extra secrets.
Yeah, I'm just God, it's just such a great system. Creator. Creator. This one. This one's the interesting one, because it's totally we interface with a machine that let us make tools in some way. And I just think there's like that's just so awesome if that's actually what that is. It's just my predictions. So like this could literally just be all opening doors. But you know, I would hope that there's some kind of thing tying them together. And so if creators letting us like interface with machines that let us make stuff, that'd be cool. Admin. This is probably miscellaneous like uh things in the computers or something. I don't know. That one feels a little I can't think of anything gameplay wise admin could be. Because when I think of admin, it's like that sounds kind of like what, you're gonna make me do paperwork in Secret of the Mimic? You're gonna make me do stock taking? Is Secret of the Mimic gonna tell me, hey, count how many elephants there are? Put it in a
Right, like you have
spreadsheet.
to make inventory for the final entry.
Oh, is that Frogger 25? It was the actual Frogger 25, yeah. I don't know why, first people have been popping up lately. Met the Bones 5 yesterday. It's because famous people are people too, and they watch streams that they think is cool, and you watch streams that you think are cool. So when you're both looking at things that you think are cool, then you find cool people. If I think I worded that terribly, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. And apparently this stream was one of those streams that attracted cool people, because there's been a few cool people in chat. Look at all these commenters, dude. I don't get this many comments normally.
Pretty good. Pretty cozy.
Actually, yes, I do. To be fair, I have my streams actually do quite well compared to my videos. Oh, anyway.
You at least um, from what I've seen, the last video about the Secret of the Mimic wasn't that. It had like 500 views. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, my theory video. I'm gonna try and lean into commentary, like theory videos and stuff, because those are the videos that do well. I think it's because I'm just not, as a person, entertaining enough to do gameplay videos. Those are just so freaking
Yeah, I
boring.
feel the same, not gonna lie.
You've watched them, you'd know. Oh, our executive law bait. So law bait that I'm gonna go and take a bet. This will be the only one that you don't acquire in main gameplay. I think you'll have to unlock this itself with a secret. I think you'll unlock these across the main game, and you'll just get them. Executive? I don't think
Yeah.
so. Especially considering that if I recall correctly, one of the achievements on the Epic Games Store page is acquire executive access. Like, this is an achievement. So, actually, I should check that. Is it a rare achievement? Epic Games. Also, don't worry, I'm
Yeah.
not grabbing the hidden ones. I know that there's a way to look at the
Yeah,
hidden
the hidden
achievements.
one is probably like know the secret of the mimic. I hope that's an achievement actually.
I
Learn the secret.
Yeah, I know there's ways to use this page somehow to look at hidden achievements. I don't know how to do that, and I'm not going to try because I don't want to spoil myself on the hidden ones. I'm just going to look at the ones that were allowed to be shown, because I feel like that's fair. But yes, look. Knock out all teeth in a single round of ball toss. This is the carnival games I was talking about earlier. And 5xp. Common, most people are probably grabbing this. Mail call. Collect all text logs. That's also only 5. Why is that so low XP for something no one's grabbed? Fuck. Okay, maybe this is a bad metric. Get jump scared, 5 XP. This is probably easy thing to grab. This one's probably because the reward itself is the text logs. Anyway, um, yeah, this isn't, yeah, good. Hidden ones are hidden. But yeah, we got more 5 XP for complete all repair tasks. Complete repair tasks. You see it? It's repair. The data diver. All my theories are correct. Hello, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm right on the money there. You'll get repair during the main game, and you'll use it to repair certain animatronics, and you'll either get an achievement if you do them all.
Oh,
And I'm assuming you'll have to backtrack a little bit to do literally all of them. So
yeah. And also the pop pew pew achievement makes me think we really are going to have a carnival section where we can we have to simultaneously beat a minigame while fending off an animatronic with the 3+ gun or ball gun.
my only reluctance to that is threat is in quotation marks, which makes me think the threat in question is something really stupid and unthreatening.
Hey, mailman.
So, yeah, I think we're gonna. I think that's just gonna be you shoot something stupid. Yeah. Also,
So
yes.
the technician complete all repair tasks. No one's unlocked, at least
Uh,
for now.
what else is only 5
So
XP? Anyway, for the higher XP ones, we've got win all carnival games. So as I said, carnival games. I mentioned that earlier. It's why I'm so confident Carney will be in this game.
yeah, it felt like a safe bet.
Yeah. Memorabilia. Deposit every collectible into the inventory system. When you try to spoil me on the inventory system, this is why I said, don't worry, this is one I actually already knew about because of the achievements, because
Uh,
deposit collectible into the inventory system, that kind of gives it
yeah,
away.
you basically store them so you can use them like as you spawn them later as you want. You don't have a magic bag.
Yeah. And one of the higher achievements is on the same level as beating every carnival game and collecting every item. That's the level executive permissions is on. So that's why I feel very confident in saying the executive permission is not a story thing and it's a secret in itself to find. Because this achievement
That
gives you too much XP. It's a high level achievement.
makes sense.
Hi Wild Runner. Man, I got so many people commenting in chat. That's so cool. For a stream I decided to do last minute.
Yeah, you haven't told me about it, but I'm enjoying it.
This stream should have been done yesterday. Yeah, there's 25 achievements. I don't know how many here were revealed, but yeah, cool. Anyways, so all my theories are correct. Hello. So I think, yeah, these will all have different gameplay elements, and I think Executive would be the one that you have to actually actively look for, and the rest you'll get through story. So, That's my guess. Um, and I think that's the Data Diver cover. Ooh, that was I told you that was a juicy one. What next? Yeah, this one's interesting. Steelable for some reason teased 75 days and only on 75 days and the final countdown. What a weirdly specific day. I can only assume that 75 must be important to the game in some way. Maybe something happens in 1975? That's my guess. Uh, maybe that's
Yeah,
when the Mimic story happens.
maybe, yeah, because it must have passed some time after um, David's death, right?
Yeah. Yes, this game has to be quite some time after the main Mimic story, because the Mimic story at the end has a big time skip. So this is clearly post time skip. So the actual main Mimic story,
Yeah.
being a couple years
Yeah,
earlier, makes sense.
yeah. I only know the story from the Mimic from surface level and what we read. But how does the book end? What does Edwin do with the Mimic?
Oh, oh, that's a fun one. He gets a metal pipe and beats the crap out of it until it stops functioning.
You know, reliable. You know, I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, and then a time skip happens, and apparently a team that was sent in to retrieve the Mimic decide to repair it. And, yeah, that's why the Mimic is around
Yeah,
now.
we have seen the bodies on the trailers.
Yeah, and that's like my one gripe with the Mimic, is that every time it comes back, it's not because the Mimic is intimidating and found a way to come back, it's because some idiot kept trying to find a way to bring it back. It just random idiots just keep coming back, just conveniently bringing it back. Like, the Mimic just feels like every time it shows up and comes back, it's just plot convenience. It doesn't feel intimidating when it does it. It just happens to line up. It's like, that doesn't make your villain intimidating. It just kinda makes them feel like they were pushed along by random chance. So, I hope the Mimic is more intimidating in this game, is what I would say if that wasn't already confirmed by the gameplay footage we've seen, because that gameplay footage is kind of horrifying.
Yeah, yeah. That Jackie jump scare wasn't that special, but the elephant jump scare that really got.
What the fuck do you mean elephant jump scare? Wait, does the
Come on,
Mimic does does elephant attack happen in the first few minutes of the game?
fuck. I mean, it was expected that he was going to attack at least once with the elephant costume.
Well, I didn't know who would be attacking at the start of the game. I didn't know who to expect at the
Sorry, man.
start.
My man.
I I
I mean,
mean,
of course, he was going to use a costume and not appear himself as mimic, but I wasn't expecting that would kind of spoil it.
I kind of wasn't expecting that either because I thought it was just going to be Jackie. So, um, I want to say you spoiled something for me, but I'm going to forgive you this one time for one single reason. You've played into the elephant joke. So, it's
Yeah,
forgiven.
I couldn't. I always try to continue a joke.
There's so much elephant green screen. Man, I need to find a way to add that to OBS so that I can just summon elephants midstream with a click of a button.
There's an army of elephants. You pull. Which army was the one that tried to conquer Europe by using elephants and going through the Pyrenees?
Hang
I
on,
don't
hang
remember.
on,
I
hang
need
on.
to,
Step back. How the hell did we get from this to conquering Europe? What?
yeah, because of elephants. I don't remember which group tried to use elephants instead of horses to attack you to conquer Europe.
You've got a better chance at knowing that than I do. The only thing I know about elephants is that there's 50 of them
Yeah,
in Secret of the
because they went
Mimic.
through Spain and basically all of them died in the Pyrenees, which is basically a high cold mountains that separate Spain and France.
Okay.
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun elephant fact. Oh yeah,
Anyway,
if you can figure out who is conquering the world with elephants, we can pinpoint where Edwin Murray came from.
it's just a sentence of animal.
Because, I mean, he's got enough elephants. I'm sure he can conquer something with his army. Yeah, here's another one. A fourth elephant. There's a work in progress one in this teaser image. I didn't even realize that. There is at least four elephants in this game. That's as many elephants as there are mycelium men.
Yeah, the mushroom ones.
I love the mushroom guys. I will actually say that. The mushrooms are great. Um, this stream is so Poggers Evergreen. I'm really hyped for Poggers Evergreen. Just as a side tangent. I'm hyped for that. I love Poggers. I just had such a blast playing the original game. But that's out of context. That's out of line of this stream. Let's get back to topic. It's currently about 1 a.m. Oh fuck. Hey, Senator.
Yeah, what? Sorry, I got distracted there.
Guess what releases in an hour?
Okay, hard question.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, ask.
Well, 1 hour and 10 minutes, unless we are weirdly out of sync.
Yeah, it's 1 hour, 10 minutes, but that's basically an hour. This game's gonna get freaking uploaded before I finish the stream, isn't it?
Wait a minute. On the Final Fantasy wiki, on the page for Edwin Murray on the left, what is that image it uses for him?
Oh, from the graphic novel, I assume. Yeah, that's his graphic novel appearance from the storyteller.
Then
I love Edwin's current canon appearance so much. When a lot of people like bring up Edwin's design, they think of like the Jackie's box design. And I think the funniest part about Edwin's design is that his canon design is even funnier than the joke design. Because he canonically looks like a gnome. So like it, I just I can't wait for him like physically appear in some way in this game. Because I just know people are gonna laugh their asses off at the fact that his official design is funnier than the joke design. Because it will be. As long as it's source accurate, it will be. And I'm so freaking ready.
absolutely, yeah. I don't know if we are seeing William or Henry in the game, but we are absolutely going to find Edwin at one point.
I don't think we'll see him physically because he's missing, but I'm certain we'll see pictures. I mean, it's where he literally lived, right? So we're going to see some remnant of him, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, maybe he'll realize we are there and just start calling us from the megaphones.
Yeah. Trying replies, all I think of is a Jackie's box design. Yeah, I love Jackie's box so much.
Yeah, that song did more marketing for the game than Steel Studios.
The best part, the best part about Jackie's box is that it's freaking accurate. You can genuinely catch up on the lore by just paying attention to the lyrics of Jackie's box, and I think that's just absolutely hilarious to me. The most inaccurate line in the entirety of that song is it was difficult to put the pieces together because canonically it was actually relatively easy for Edwin to put it together. He actually made it really quickly and to the point where he surprised himself. It was actually a really smooth process. It's like you know that there's something wrong when that's like the most wrong line. Oh, and look, you could say that she didn't actually put bombs in our belongings, but we don't know that. We don't know that. She could have. She said she put bombs in our belongings. She didn't say she actually triggered them. They could be sitting there silently.
I didn't analyze the song on that detail, honestly. We can listen to it.
No.
You know,
I've heard enough of it. I used lines from it for my fan game. I've heard enough Jackie's Box.
I think I heard it once completely, but usually it was just for the shitpost versions.
Alright, let's stop talking about that and get back to Mimic of the Secret. Um, so images. Okay, this is just when the main marketing started. Yeah, VR's delayed. Main teasers.
Okay.
Yep. I think at this point we can just grab the images. Yep. I think now it's time we can just browse the gallery.
Makes sense. And another question. Of course, I can imagine that some basically all mimic-related books are going to get reference. But which book do you think that it can at least get a reference here to on Secret of the Mimic?
Oh, well,
Like animatronic there and such.
the thing is, with the Tales of the Pizzaplex series, they are pretty much all modern day. The Mimic is like the only one that's like back in time. So the Mimic's like the only one that has any chance of even showing up in this game at all. So I know people like the only other thing from those books is like the storyteller, but the storyteller is not the story itself that matters. It's just Edwin has like a one-off line where he mentions like in his past he witnessed some sort of bloodbath to do with the Mimic. So there is canonically like a bloodbath incident. Um, that's like the only thing notable from the storyteller though. It's a one-off line. At least the only thing notable when it comes to this specific game. The storyteller is quite important for several other reasons in the modern games, but for this specific game, the Mimic's like the only one I think is actually important to know about. And even then, apparently the books are decanonized in this, so what do I know?
Yeah, honestly, I really thought that this game would balance the argument on the book's favor.
I'm not. It turned out exactly as I expected. I assumed from the very beginning that this game would align with the books in some way, but also highly contradict the books to an extent that just makes the debate somehow even worse. And so far, it looks like all my theories are correct. Hello.
You can't stop winning.
Oh, this is the most accurate I've ever predicted a Five Nights at Freddy's release. I sure as hell didn't predict Hell Point 2. Uh, this is the hedgehog, I think, by the way. The green mascot costume with the spiky hair. I think it's a hedgehog. I'll let me know.
You aren't that part.
Sorry?
No, sorry, that you aren't part. Hold on, you're getting there in the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It'll take a minute to catch up.
Yeah, I can see that being a hedgehog.
Yeah.
It looks like a platypus, but just because I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I could see a platypus too, to be honest. I feel like that the if it was intended to be like the beak of a platypus, it would be out longer. Because if you look at like the dog snout, that goes out really far. The elephant snout goes out really far. It'd be weird for the platypus beak to be so pushed in compared to everything else. Just because platypi tend to have like pretty pushed forward beaks. They tend to be quite long. I don't know. Looked out, your dodo diver is the key. What a nothing reveal. Look, okay, that was mean. This was cool because it was showing stuff off. It was just part of the teaser images. I appreciate that they shared all these teaser images, but spoiler warning, about half of these were kind of nothing, and were only cool because they were marketing of any degree.
Yeah. It would be really funny if we actually had to get a physical key and for the final sequence, and we will put it on the data driver too.
Wait. I got it. You guys are looking at this completely wrong. Remember, Steelwool Studios are game developers. When they say key, they're not actually talking about a physical key. See, this is actually just throwing you off. You gotta look at the bigger picture here. They're actually talking about key value pairs. In programming, there's this concept called a dictionary. And I saw several other things too, but I'm familiar with dictionaries mostly. And basically, you input a value to use as the key, and when you access the dictionary variable and input the key, you get back the variable, well, which is value, the key value pair. So really, this data diver saying the data diver is the key, it's actually telling us it's the key for the dictionary. So when we see later on a programming interface, we have to type in the dictionary a string by saying data diver. Look, data diver is literally underlined. It's italicized. This is literally the text you put in for the key. And then you get the value back, and it gives you secret law, and it tells you that William Afton is actually married to a man.
Well, that would be an amazing maybe not of the mimic though.
No, the mimic was there watching the entire time. It's actually integral to the plot. You gotta understand.
That is a secret.
In all seriousness, though, this poster is absolutely just saying that the data diver is used to unlock doors, which I'm pretty sure is obvious from seeing it for like 5 seconds. So, but I mean, hey.
Yeah, and don't we actually see it doing it that on the trailer already?
Yeah, we do. I'm pretty sure. Yes, there is a door that goes to the office. You use the data diver to open. This, I've already analyzed the where do you belong, the roles of the data diver, so I'm gonna skip that. Murray's costume and order form. On a surface level, this is also a nothing teaser, but it's not. This is actually one of the more interesting ones for a couple of reasons. First off, while this piece of paper on its own isn't interesting, the interesting part about this paper is that these are forms that will appear in the game. We are undoubtedly going to see filled in forms in the game. And some of this information for certain characters would be absolutely insane to hear about. Like, it would just straight up tell us who is ordering these characters, so we'll know who designed each one that appears. We'll know what specific functions they have, if they have any. So we'll be able to see, like, certain characters might have unique purposes we never knew about. It will say things like how many there are. Like, if it's just this, like, 5 spring bodies or something, maybe we'll have to start looking, right?
That's true.
It tells.
This reminds me to the, Circus Baby rental therapy. That doesn't get that much explored there, but I can see, getting a lot of receipts in the mimic in contrast.
Yeah.
Because we just know that the fun times were at least rented for a time, but maybe here we will actually see who rented the costumes and such.
God, I don't even want to think about the fun times. After seeing Mr. Helpful, I've just kind of threw it out of my mind and said, later me can theorize on this. Because right now, it looks like the fun times were made by Edwin. Right? Because we've seen several characters that kind of look like them. We've seen Jackie, we've seen Dolly, and they kind of look like the Funtime style. And we've now seen Mr. Helpful, who looks like Funtime Freddy's color palette before Funtime Freddy. It's like, did William Afton hire Edwin for Afton Robotics?
I can see that.
It's interesting to me, and it's something I don't really want to fully think through until I've played the game. Because I feel like
makes sense.
The fun times, it's not even just that, the fun times also have mimicking technology, and they're also state-of-the-art, and they're really advanced. They have sentient AIs, they have mimicking technology like Funtime Freddy does. Like, if out of any single animatronic roster in the franchise, I am most anticipating the fun times to be brought up here. is as in a big lore reveal.
Hmm.
As in, like, I'm certain they won't physically appear. I just mean, like, they're the ones I think will be the most interestingly recontextualized. Is a better way to put that.
Yeah, and also they are the earliest that are considered, high advancements.
Yeah.
Advancement.
As also, it won't be explained in this game, but man, I really want an explanation as to how the toy animatronics is state of the art. Because
Yeah,
those guys,
that's also good.
those guys came
That
out.
also,
Oh, sorry, go.
I just want to say that those really need an explanation too.
Yeah, it's like they in world came out after the fun times and after the Edwin stuff. So it's like the toy animatronics are either the most advanced things be possible in this franchise, just only demonstrated off screen, or that line has just been retconned entirely, don't think about it.
It can. We have already discussed that FNAF 2 contradicts itself in its own story, so it's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. I said there was a couple of reasons why this auto form was interesting. The fact that they could be filled out is only one of those reasons. Now, I'm going to bring this over to a different tab because I'm going to have to open something and I am not willing to open this site on video until I'm comfortable with knowing that nothing suspicious will appear. Because I'm going on Twitter. So the reason why I'm bringing up Twitter is because there's a very interesting repost that Steel Studios made, and you might know what I'm talking about, Senator, because I think I lost my mind sending it to you at one
Maybe.
point. Yes, this one. Oh, this can actually be put down here. Oops. So, Hero Spirit VRC, or Rockstar Animatronic Appreciation, responded to this Murray's costume runner form and filled it out with Rockstar Freddy because they love the Rockstars. It's cute. I love it. Cute little response. I mean, a lot of people responded with their wish lists and what characters they wanted to see on this, so whatever, it doesn't mean anything, right? And then you read Steelwool Studios reposted, and it's like, Steelwool? What the fuck do you mean by that?
Yeah.
They didn't acknowledge it in a comment, but this is acknowledging it without actually saying anything. So clearly, and this is the only one, this is the singular only response out of any of the teasers they have sent. Literally all of them, this is the only one they have acknowledged. Which is weird. Because that really highlights it. And it's like, why?
Yeah, Rockstar. 10 Rockstar Freddy's. Why would? Please deposit 5. No, it's 5 coins, not 10. Maybe that was a reference to it.
Yeah, they just say I want 10 because they want a lot of Rockstar Freddy's. I love the cute drawing they did. This, as I said, the way they filled this out was adorable for a fan to fill out. And if I just saw this naturally, it's like, yeah, cute, like, move on. But Steel will reposted it, and suddenly it stops being cute and starts turning into a what the hell? What?
Yeah, because especially when the Rockstars are probably the most forgotten versions. These that have been in the games.
Yeah, and there's so much interesting stuff about the Rockstars. Because not only is it this, but remember something I brought up earlier. Carney is almost definitely going to appear in this game, and he's a Rockstar animatronic. So, yeah. And the Rockstars, as you said, a big part of Secret of the Mimic, as confirmed in an interview with Evan Lampy, is that they planned to, they went back, because Scott Cawthon only gave them so much stuff, and when they started making it to a full game, they realized they had to make more characters, had to do more with it. Why would you DM me? What are you doing?
Yeah, that really excites me because we are probably going to see a lot of references.
Yeah, so they went back through the games to try and look for things in the games that didn't have an origin story and try to give it an origin story. Obviously, they leaned into a lot of Pizzeria Simulator stuff, which is why we see things like Maestro Music Man and like the mediocre melodies kind of have their predecessors shown in like a Steam screenshot. Like, come on, that's Happy Frog and Mr. Hippo. Like, it's not exactly the same, but it's them. It's a precursor to them.
Yeah, they needed something.
Yeah, so the mediocre melodies date back. I mean, we've seen so much trash in their game. Like, Mr. Hugs has got the Hug robotic vacuum unit, as well as the number one crate had number one gift box from the demo. Uh, there was, I mean, Panstan and Bucket Bob. A lot of people are calling out, remind them a lot of Murray's Magic Coat Rack. We haven't seen any reference to Mr. Can Do yet, but I mean, it's only a matter of time at this point. So, we've seen
Yeah,
trash in the game have.
it's
Let's go.
it's definitely an activation of Edwin enemies.
Yeah. So I think they're going to show off. I think Security Breach and Pizza Sim stuff. I think they're really leaning into here. And so in Pizza Sim, you got like the mediocre melodies, trash in the gang, but the Rockstars also have no origin. Like a lot of people assumed they were made for Henry's Pizzeria, but in an in-world perspective, that doesn't make sense. Like Henry made that pizzeria specifically to burn. Why would he spend money making and designing completely new animatronics for it? Especially considering that you don't get those animatronics from Henry, you get them from Stan's Budget Tech. So this is another company that's previously bought these older characters out, and we don't know where they came from. And now we're getting a game which seems to have Carney, which probably has Carney, and who is a Rockstar animatronic, and they're putting emphasis here on some Rockstar Freddy stuff. Are the Rockstars the earliest versions of the classic 4? Like, no way, right?
Yeah, well, it would be really weird, but maybe like prototypes.
I don't know, that's like the one thing that's holding me back from this, is because we see in posters and PAX West that we see the classic 4, and they're pretty much how we know them. Like, sure, they could be like mascot versions of them. They might not be literally ones we know, but they look pretty similar in design. They don't look like the Rockstars. They look like the ones we know and love. So it's like, I feel like, considering Freddy's isn't even open yet, those should be the only versions of the Freddy's cast in this game. Now, Fredbear's cast is a different story. I'm sure we might see, like, multiple versions of Fredbear's characters, because Fredbear is already a thing.
Yeah, we know that there are more than one Fredbear design, especially thanks to the week before confirming that some spare parts look different from one another.
Yeah, actually, I should call this out too, because I didn't call this out. It's actually something not a lot of people know. So I better call it out. No, this game does not predate Fredbear's. Please stop saying it does. So many people are like, why is there no Freddy stuff? And then people are like, oh, because it predates everything. It's even before Fredbear's. And it's like, no, it isn't. That's factually wrong. Like,
yeah, that would be really weird and complicated.
yeah, like we see Fredbear's is operational in PAX West. I mean, we see stuff from Fredbear's in the trailer. Like, Fredbear's is opened already. Like, it's nothing here. I mean, some stuff might be from before Fredbear's, but this game is not before Fredbear's. And also, this game is not before the classic 4 were conceptualized. Because that's another thing here a lot of people are saying is because, oh, there's no Freddy because it's before Freddy existed. Freddy will not appear in this game. Yes, he will. We know he's here already.
We have seen him in posters, anyways.
Yeah, we've seen depictions of him in, yeah, not only is there the PAX West poster, but there's also the Help Wanted 2 teaser, which had, like, the Golden Freddy and Bonnie on a glass mural. And it is Golden Freddy and, like, Bonnie. Like, some people think it's Fredbear, some people think it's regular Freddy. It's not. If you look at the image, a big part of that image is brown. That bear is lighter yellow than the brown. It's gold. And it has black accessories. It's Golden Freddy. So it is definitively Golden Freddy. And it's Golden Freddy and Bonnie on a glass mural at Mary's Costume Manor. So those designs already exist because they're all marketed in Mary's Costume Manor. They're marketed on posters. Even if Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is not open yet, the Freddy's designs and characters do exist. And in the Mimic story, we literally see that they were at Murray's Costume Manor after Edwin Murray abandoned it. So literally at this point in the timeline that this game takes place in, we already know that Freddy and Co, the classic four, are canonically at this location. Like, they just will appear in this game. They've already been teased, they're canonically here. Like, they're in this game. Please stop saying they're not.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I wouldn't expect a game not to have them. At least, at least it's like in the 1960s, like really the first conception where only Fredbear and Spring Bonnie appeared.
yeah, by the way, according to Fredbear's singing show poster, Fredbear apparently dates back so freaking long. I feel very confident in saying that basically nothing predates Fredbear at this point. Because
Yeah,
that poster
he
has an
was
art
there from
style.
the beginning of the times.
That art style is used in the 1920s and 1930s. So, like, Jesus Christ. I'm sure that it's not supposed to actually be from that time period. I'm sure they just used that art style just to show it's older than everything else. But even if so, it's still showing that it's older than everything else. So Fredbear's singing show, Fredbear is way early in the timeline. So it's like, no, I promise you guys, this game is not before Fredbear's.
That would be a twist, but we know already.
Oh, man. Anyway, to get back on topic. So I have no idea what the Rockstar's going to be for. I have no idea what their role in this is going to be. Um, and also, there was that one teaser image. No, I'll get to the teaser image later, actually. They get that. God, they have so much to cover still, and the game's 45 minutes away. Um,
Damn, I'm enjoying it.
I will say that when the game does come out and I do that stream, it will be a different stream for this one because I want my prediction stream and my gameplay stream to be separate. So,
Fair enough.
if these they weren't supposed to be back to back, but if these do end up being two back to back streams, they will be two back to back streams. They won't be one really long stream. So, yeah, if you want to see me actually play the game, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and you'll get the notification when I go live. Or just wait 5 minutes and check my channel. So, yeah, of course, after this stream ends, not now. If you wait 5 minutes
Yeah,
now, you just
I'll
come back to
probably
here.
not be present for the. Yeah, I think I'll stay until the game drops, and then I'll just watch the stream later
Yeah,
and get.
um,
I
I'll
still want to be a big productive today.
yeah, I think you might like see my reactions to this one. From what I'm hearing, I'm curious whether I want to do face cam for it or not. I want to because I like putting my face cam and stuff, particularly for reactions. But the problem is, no one likes my face cam. Like my videos that have face cam on always have people telling me to turn it off, and they always perform worse. So it's like, okay, I get the message, people.
It's harsh, but I guess if it works.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll do. It's also just a complete pain in the ass to set up. So if people don't like it, it's just not worth the pain of setting it up because I actually don't have enough USB slots to support everything if I put in my face cam as well. So it is actually quite a pain to have that on. So hey, it kind of works out. People don't like it. It's a pain for me. Just won't bother. But if in another world though, this would be something that I would have considered doing face cam for because I think my facial reactions would be pretty fun for this game. But oh well, people hate it, so I won't. I'll just try and be vocal. Um, Alright, we'll just get off this page. We've analysed that page enough. Oh, are you ready for another nothing poster? So, Dolly the carnival nurse, fixing up another freaking elephant. Vulcan of Fights of Freddy, Secret of the Elephant green screen. Um,
Damn, it's just a lot of elephants. The whole army. I'm telling you.
Now, I am like underselling this teaser quite a bit. There is like one really interesting thing about this teaser image, and it's the fact that the elephant's an animatronic. That's interesting because you would have assumed that it's just a costume, and the mimic wears a costume every now and then. But this one
Yeah,
in
I
this
imagine that.
image,
Yeah, I imagine there is at least one actual elephant animatronic.
yeah, and I think that kind of goes into what I was saying before. It's like is there multiple animatronics or is it all just the mimic? I'm just thinking like it's kind of hard to tell because things like Jackie feel like they should be their own animatronic, but also you can literally see the mimic in her. So it's like she obviously is just the mimic. So like if she's just the mimic, like what what is and isn't just the mimic? Like what about
That's
this
the
image?
secret.
Is this image, is this really showing the elephant is an animatronic? Or is this just because, oh, the mimic wears the costume? Is this the mimic being depicted? Oh, probably
Yeah,
not.
the game is going to have you wondering that the entire fucking game.
Man, I I don't know, man. I feel like I think what's going on here. Here's my updated prediction actually that I'm only coming up with just now, so good thing I'm making this stream. It's both. There's animatronics, new animatronics, and the mimic is also everything. Because think about it. What if the mimic just wears an animatronic? Because it can shapeshift.
Ooh,
It can shapeshift, so logically speaking, it should be able to shape itself around an already existing endoskeleton, right?
yeah, that would be interesting. Not just using an costume,
And
but
also,
actively possessing, basically.
yeah, and also, think back to Jackie from the demo. She isn't violent immediately. It only takes a little bit after before she starts agreeing aggressive. The mimic would have just been at your ass right away. What if that's because what if the mimic isn't wearing Jackie yet?
Hmm.
And he only climbs in a little bit later. It's like maybe Jackie gets awakened and she screams out, "Time to play!" And then that alerts the mimic because remember, it is drawn from sound. It is drawn to sound, as security breach notes say. So the mimic goes to the noise from Jackie, then wears Jackie, and now he's piloting Jackie like his own mech.
Yeah, honestly, I think you're onto something here.
Yeah. And then that would explain why he's like, Elephant is an animatronic, but is obviously something that's worn by the mimic. Uh, because it's just a mascot costume. And then you also have Maestro Music Man, who's like, that thing, I mean, let's be real ourselves, that's an animatronic. Like, it just
Yeah.
kind of looks like one. And then that begs another question. Dolly. So, because here's another thing. I don't think if there is multiple animatronics, I don't think they're evil. I think they're only evil when it's the mimic, because the mimic's just kind of a freak incident. Edwin doesn't make evil
Yeah,
animatronics.
that makes sense because it's supposed to be just the mimic, the one rebelling.
Yeah, the mimic's the only thing that Edwin beat up and taught violence. Edwin does not make violent animatronics. It was a one-off freak incident. So I think everything that attacks you is the mimic. And I think the mimic can pilot both costumes and animatronics. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's another theory people have is that Edwin reused the mimic's code, and so then they got screwed up like the Glamrocks did, where they got kind of like corrupted by the Mimic One program. But my problem with that is there's just no freaking way Edwin reused the Mimic's code after he went and turned violent against it. I just don't see it. That
Yeah,
he
no,
didn't.
he's not that stupid.
No, and that comes from like the teasers we'll see later on with the MCM archives. I think those are things that predate the Mimic. I don't think those are reusing Mimic's code. I think those are things that Edwin made before making the Mimic, because the Mimic was made really quickly and rushed together. So it's really weird that the Mimic has all the abilities he has when he's quickly made together. Um,
If
but
anything, it's actually impressive how well he works.
yeah, but if Edwin made these things beforehand and then just reused their code and reused their parts to make the Mimic, that's a really clean answer as to why he made it so quickly and also accidentally gave it more powers. Like, that just works perfectly. That's just how that would happen. So, especially considering that those teasers also have a timeline as well, um, because you have, like, the child who grows up across them and a piece of paper that's less dirty as they go on, which I'll point out when we get to them, but there is a timeline to it, and even the latest one doesn't seem to be right now. So,
Yeah, I didn't think of that. But good catch.
yeah, this was a I really went ahead of myself there because I jumped to a bunch of stuff later on, but yeah, it's okay. This is only a rough guideline to keep going in this order. Next one, Rose Costume Manor Vacation Request Form. Now, here's another one where initially I thought this isn't very interesting. Like, how could this information even be interesting? Until I realized they could name drop people here. Like, imagine if Henry Emily was like a former employee at MCM.
That could be interesting. It could work. Yeah.
So, like, if the way Henry Emily is name dropped in this game, because let's be real with ourselves, this game needs to have some Henry and William imagery. Like, come on, it's in the 70s. It's before everything went wrong. It's when they were alive, and it's the only time in the modern games where they can do this. This is the moment that they have to bring in Henry and William. But also, this game is not even at a Fazbear Entertainment location. Like, it's different. You're not even at Fazbear Entertainment, so like, what relevance do they actually have here? Sure, they have their costumes here and all. So, and to be honest, let's be clear with ourselves. This is where Henry will be name dropped. It's the order form. You'll see things like they'll order Henry Emily would be ordering Freddy Fazbear, so you'll probably see his name there. Um, but it's things like these forms where you'll probably see them because I don't think they'll physically appear. I think you'll see them in some way, maybe pictures of them in some way or something for some reason. I just really doubt that they'll literally just show up because why would they? Like, in an in-world perspective, what reason do they have? The only reason I can possibly think is in, like, the very end of the game. Like, you beat the game, and the ending cutscene is returning it to Fredbear's or something, and you see them in the ending cutscene. But I feel like for something that huge, it wouldn't be in an ending cutscene. Fights Freddy's would put that in a secret. I don't think they'd put it in just a straight up story moment. I think it would be a secret thing. So, it's things like these forms that I think will give us that information. And also, I also want to call out too, which is something that isn't in this page, so I better call it out now. The recent mystery boxes that content creators are being sent.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah, they're the context of those boxes is that you are someone who worked at Murray's Costume Manor who has been fired. And in your...
Oh, true. He also that email where he also automatized the response
Yeah,
recommendation language.
promoting the Digityper. But the the interesting part about that is that's supposed to be your belongings. Why is a Spring Bonnie bobblehead with someone's belongings who was fired from Murray's Costume Manor? Does that not just scream William Afton worked here at one point?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. And oh,
So the only pushback there is that would mean that no, that's not really an issue actually. I was about to say that Fazbear Entertainment would have to be like after Murray's Costume Manor because William and Henry both founded Fazbear Entertainment. So for William to be at Murray's Costume Manor, that would mean Fazbear Entertainment had to come after. But that's not really an issue because Fazbear Entertainment, I mean, 1979 is the earliest we've ever heard of Fazbear Entertainment. So, I mean, it's possible. But yes, it could be a thing of like, you have you find the old vacation request form from William Afton. Would that not just be freaking insane?
now that will be a reveal.
Oh man.
Man, now I hope it happens.
Which yes, I have Herpium, and that mystery box is so interesting. Also, the other thing that was interesting about that mystery box was the tiger scene, where you saw the tiger mascot in like a very barren factory area. which looked really similar to the area from Tales of the Pizzaplex books, which makes me think that the area in Tales is actually not the full factory, but instead just a room of the big factory. Because remember, the books were in development at the same time as these games, but the books were intentionally underselling it because they don't tell you the full story. So it makes sense a lot to me that they imply a small location when it actually was. And if that location from the books shows up in the game, which that image from John FNaF's mystery box seems to indicate, that would be so cool to see. But I'm also kind of reluctant. Sorry, go.
I just want to say that I know it's his name, but you're right. John Knapp is just such a funny name considering the memes now about John, creator of the series, name of the series to refer to the protagonist.
It's really funny that that's kind of the only thing you can call him. It's like, what do you expect me to call him? You expect me to call him FNaF? No, because that's the name of the franchise. What? You want me to call him John? That's the most generic name ever. Okay, what about his full name? John Andrews. Somehow, that's not even any better. What do you mean his last name is Andrews? How is his last name just as generic as his first name?
Every moment.
It's like, yeah, John FNaF is like the only valid way to like call him anything. It's like but it's so perfect too. So good. Let's check out these last two posters, and then I think there's some other stuff later on, but these are the last two actual poster reveals. Swing Bee Honey. I already covered this earlier. This is just another company. That's their mascot. Cute. Digityper. Great. So some people yeah, it's staff bots, but like good.
Yeah, honestly, he does look way better than the staff bots.
Yeah. Oh, the wiki has great image quality on these countdown teasers. Oh my god. Whoa, that's so good quality. What the hell? I couldn't get them to look this good. Oh my fucking god, it's another elephant. It's a fucking another one. It's another. I'm gonna cry.
Collect my elephants.
Secret of the elephant green screen. Okay, so this
maybe of the secret should have revolved around the elephants.
Oh, another teaser just now dropped. Oh. Okay, we're gonna look at that in a minute. Well, I'm gonna wait till I go through everything. Yes, just now a new teaser. Steel will just dropped it. But we're patient. We're patient, so we're gonna cover everything, and we'll make it. It will end off this stream with the new teaser. I think that's a cool way to end it off, anyways.
Yeah.
So these countdowns are relatively uninteresting anyway, so I think I could breeze through this. So yeah, just a bunch of costumes on hooks. These aren't even new costumes. We've seen the hedgehog and elephant, so it's pretty cool. Day 4, Jesus Christ. This thing looks like a demon from hell. So, something that's I've seen a few times. There's not only good-looking costumes, there's also old moldy costumes. And it's horrifying. And I'm so excited to see the Mimic wear the old moldy ones like this. Because seeing that thing run at me might just make me shit myself. Day 3, the mannequins, great. They mostly get their coolness from the gameplay sections we see later on, so I'm just gonna breeze past them.
Yeah, I hope.
Day 2.
But honestly, if we have to, if the Mimic uses one of those unfinished costumes, it's going to look really terrifying.
Right. Oh my god. And the Day 2 is another old moldy dismembered costume. It's like, ugh. I hate it.
Imagine if for the mannequin costume, when he jump scares you, he just rips out of the mannequin to attack you. And you see him fully just ripping how he rips the mannequin.
I don't think the Mimic will be in a mannequin. Personally.
Who knows?
If he is, I might shit myself because I'm not expecting it. Oh, day one. Whoa, this is so good quality. How the fuck did the wiki editors get looking this good? Um, oh, this is yeah. This costume, I don't know what this costume is. Some people have compared it to looking like Circus Bonnie. If it is, I might, I might just cry
I
with
don't know
joy.
why, but it just reminds me to a Mickey Mouse costume.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm excited to see what that is. We've only got half an hour left till the game comes out. I gotta really rush through these last things. These recent things are more recent and are more fresh in my mind anyway. I was mostly doing this just to cover up on stuff I've forgotten about, so I think I'm good to breeze through these. I got ahead of myself earlier and already covered the main 4 teasers videos from Museum Archives, so I think I can skip those because I covered those earlier. But basically, no, I'll cover them quickly again too. They just quickly show off what the mimic can do. Just shows off mimic abilities used in other things, and because of the state of the paper and because even the most recent one has tears in it that doesn't look new, but they get older and older in the older ones. So, and the kid in it, just take my word for it, I'm not gonna show, but the kid in it does, the first one doesn't have a kid, the second one has a baby, and then he gets older in the next two. So I think it's pretty obvious that the family you see in all 4 teasers is the Murray family. So,
Yeah,
and,
we haven't discussed it yet, but there is a non-zero chance that we see the entire Murray family voice somehow.
yeah, they'll all be voiced, for sure. We've already got their voice actors. They'll be in audio logs or in, Mimic will speak them. I hope the Mimic speaks in their voice lines. My
Yeah,
wish
that's
list,
my hopes too.
big wish
Maybe
list.
mimic.
Yeah, go, sorry.
I mean, I can see him clearly mimicking David's voice. Maybe he voices his mother's voice by recordings of her. She look by how Edwin described her. She looked really jovial. I can see her just recording everything about the pregnancy,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
where the mimic took her voice.
Yeah. I want to see the Mimic running at us in an oldie tattered mascot costume, saying in David's voice, I love you, Mimic. Oh, if that happened, I don't know, it's just that a line of David showing it affection or something. I want the Mimic to speak as if David was the closest thing in the world to it. Because I think that's the best thing I like most about the Mimic is how attached it seems to its family within like the security breach sticky note rooms and stuff. Like Edwin, it being beaten by Edwin, that was basically the one of the closest people in its life, basically betraying its trust. It's like kind of heartbreaking almost. I really, really hope that becomes actually lore important and isn't just a really nice story moment. If it is a nice story moment, that's fine, but I want things like David to be part of his like main renovation or something. It's I don't know, I want that to be more focused on because I think the whole family dynamic with like the Mimic, David and Edwin is the whole family of it is what makes that so compelling to me to the point where it's just so
Yeah, and
tragic.
especially after that theory that some people have that the mimic is trying to recreate David. That would be an interesting motivation, at least.
It's definitely something I'd be satisfied with if it was trying to find a way to bring David back to life. Oh my god, imagine if it succeeds and David comes back as a monster. Would that not just be the most
Oh dear God,
heartbreaking
that
thing?
would be. Yeah, imagine if you have to take it down for its own good.
It's like the MCI, like when you think of the missing children incident, it's so sad that these children were murdered by William Afton. But the only thing that really makes it not feel very impactful is you didn't spend a lot of time with the children. You didn't get to know them. You didn't really get to care for them before they died because they were dead before you knew about them. So, but with David, you know about David. You read him in the book. You'll hear about him in the game. You'll know David. You might care about David. And if
Yeah,
the mimic,
there's this game that released just a few months ago, I think. Don't look up. No, look outside because the game's about how you don't have to look outside because a cosmic entity is coming to Earth and deforming everyone that sees him.
Yeah.
Basically, it explores how even if people are transforming into monsters, no, a lot of are still human. And for example, you can recruit a kid because you can kill him if you want, but you can recruit him by giving him his plushie, and he actually stays conscious thanks to your help.
Oh.
Yeah, and thanks to that, you can also bring him to his brother, who's even more mutated. But you can the kid his brother is just so mutated he cannot even move. He's stuck to the ground, but he's still playing with his toys.
Yeah.
And it's a really emotional scene because you can play with him one last time, along than his brother.
Yeah.
And what he does, and he just passes away. He gives you a good weapon, but he passes away, and his brother just says goodbye.
Yeah.
I can see a moment like that, Edwin.
I just
And
had a sorry. I just had a flashback to the week before where Ralph was singing Happy Birthday to Chica and he has the instinct in his mind to say Happy Birthday, dear Susie. And it's like, ooh, that hit the week before was so fucking good. I can't go a single stream without gassing up the week before. Oh. Anyway, I really got to get through this. It's 20 minutes before release and there's still a lot to cover. So
yeah,
forgive me if
maybe
I
just
yeah,
hit the turbo right now.
yeah, forgive me if I end up cutting you off if we do more tangent. We gotta talk about the video clips. This is the most exciting thing that released recently. So let's watch. I've already watched them, but I want to watch them again because they're awesome.
You're getting there.
I lost my freaking mind seeing this. Her being in front of you, her reaching her arms in front of you.
Yeah, that's a very good scene.
Apparently that vent can kill you. Apparently a lot of PAX West players said that if you're too fast through that section, she will actually squash you. So you have to slow down slightly.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, yeah. And her voice performance is so freaking good.
Wait, no, I was going to activate the volume on your stream, but I realized I was going to hear myself with like a 20-second delay. So
Wait.
I wasn't willing to do that.
By the way, you totally are you supposed to run to the left here? Is that what you're supposed to do? Or is that a wall?
Yeah, I think he gets him.
Yeah, you run to the left.
Here.
Yeah, so when you come to here, you run to the left. And that's how you're supposed to avoid Jackie, I'm pretty sure. But she instead, does this.
Yeah, I guess I want to show Jackie's jump scare.
I really hope they change Jackie's jump scare, but also if that's like the only thing that's not great, then it's whatever. I don't really care too much. It's not that bad, it's just definitely the only thing I've seen. Everything I see from like the future gameplay videos especially, and like the even earlier parts in that one, and all the promotional material, that's like, it's not that bad, but it's the only thing I look at and don't think that's peak. Like, everything I look at about this game makes me think, this looks like the best FNAF game I've like ever seen. How can Five Nights at Freddy's possibly be this good? And then I see that jump scare and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, it cannot be a perfect game. You know, it's getting close.
Yeah, if it gets improved later on, then it's perfectly won me over. But even if it hasn't, it's such
Yeah,
a
I
small
think the
detail.
elephant's jump scare was pretty good for what it's worth.
Yeah, and we see Maestro Music Man's jump scare in an earlier trailer, and it's not. It's even a little bit better, I think, if I recall correctly as well. So it's either like Jackie specifically only has a meh jump scare, it's only her, or it's just this is old footage, and hers is going to be peak now too. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. So, but it is like the only thing singular, that tiny detail of after you die from Jackie specifically in this footage, like the only thing
Yeah,
I'll look at and say, this looks good, instead of just this looks
yeah,
amazing.
basically like nitpicking, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's oh. Anyway, this is my personal favorite. I love this one. Oh yeah. Oh, actually I should show these. Each image kind of shows a showroom as well. So Jackie is of course in the birthday showroom, as we saw up in a previous teaser image. Yeah, the birthday showroom, which judging from the tutorial prompts and how Jackie's all over the marketing, I assume is level 1. So you can actually view this and see the birthday showroom. Yeah, so I believe this is a camera shot from the birthday showroom. And also the channels go 4625, by the way. I'm not going to just show it in each one, but take my word for it. They flick through 4625. So, again, that code comes back. Next, the big top showroom, which I assume is level 2. And there's your camera shot of the big top showroom.
Yeah,
Not going to look too much into
I
it.
can't remember now, but I imagine that the cameras in game will look like this. It makes sense with the 70s setting, after all.
Yeah. And 15 minutes remain. Shit, I feel like I feel so panicked. How the fuck did I yacht for this long, dude? Anyway, my favorite. I love this one so freaking much. Tickets, please. Well, dude, I'm almost shitting myself looking at this footage.
It's really good.
And this scene as well. Oh my god. This is...
Yeah.
What comes here is just so horrifying.
Yeah, like we commented, he probably won't hit you unless you stay in one place.
It's still gonna be tense as fuck though. Like, oh man.
Actually, you know he won't. But what if he does?
Right? Like, Five Nights at Freddy's games have so much RNG elements that you never freaking know. Like, he might just have a rare chance of hitting you.
And oh, and this. Wait, do they put speakers on their chest?
Yes, they speak.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't get it.
I want to point out a cool detail, by the way. You can see, where Maestro Music Man is looking, which means what you're going to have to do in this section is you're going to have to run up the staircase and run back down to try and avoid his line of sight as you try and run up, I'm pretty sure. Because
Oh,
look,
that's genius.
look at his eyes and you'll see what I mean.
Uh,
That's 100% if you're in his line of sight, he kills you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love that one. Music Man continues to be the most peak character in FNaF.
As always.
Anyway, this last one's like the only one where it has an actually interesting camera shot. So, we don't know the show of this one, but I assume Dolly the Carnival Nurse is in level 3, whatever it's called. Tiger! Hello, Tiger! Tiger plushie, a tiger mascot. Hello, Tiger! Tiger.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch on that he was there. I imagined that there was a secret of that camera, but I just couldn't see it until you pointed it out.
I love you, Tiger. Sorry. And then this was, I remember losing my freaking mind seeing this. On one hand, the story moment is really cool. On the other hand, this is 100% the least interesting one gameplay-wise. And you'll see,
Probably. I mean, it's the cameras on a FNAF game. They exist, but they are never the highlight.
yeah, I mean, there's like this last clip. So this Jackie chase had a in front of you, and you had to dodge her, and you had to like back off away from things that drop in front of you. With Maestro Music Man, you have to like presumably make sure you don't accidentally walk in him as he smashes down, presumably dodge mannequins. Whereas with this one, spoiler alert slightly, it seems like you're just kinda running. You'll see what I mean. But despite that, it's really, really cool, and I lost my mind at the story moment at the start. If you guys haven't seen it, you'll see what I mean. And the music as well. The music is so amazing. Uh, if if you don't have your volume up high enough, I'll mute myself for this section so you can hear the absolutely banger OST for this. It's just glorious. Sorry, I accidentally muted myself prematurely. Okay, unmute. So you see what I mean? It's
All right.
like this. Sorry, go.
Yeah, the music is no. I'm just saying. I was listening as well. But the music it gets perfect at this moment, and especially when Doll reappears, have with half her face already at molten at the end. So
Right? It's so amazing. The man, and also I didn't bring it up before, but Maestro Music Man and Jackie also have some really great tracks in their chases as well. But it's just this one was so freaking jarringly good. It's like, this is easily the best OST in any main FNAF game. In fact, maybe any FNAF game, period. It's just so freaking good. Why is
I
Five of
still
Freddy's like
love
this good?
the I still love the FNAF 6 tracks. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. And I'm sure you can all see what I mean there as well, where it's like, it's the coolest story moment of the three reveals, but it's also the lamest gameplay section. Because there was like no gameplay to that aside from just running forward.
Yeah, I guess they really wanted you to see uh, Dolly melding.
But they didn't, because she was behind you for most of the chase. It's the only one you don't really see. Yeah,
I guess if you're inefficient, you see it.
yeah, it's like the for the footage, the dude had to literally turn around just to get her on screen. Like in the actual gameplay, if you're playing it yourself, you're not going to get that much screen time of her. So it's a real shame that such a cool design and cool story moment is kind of just yeah. This is like the second like gripe I have with these, but it's still, despite these minor gripes, these are minor gripes. Like the game still looks easily like the best FNAF game. Like I don't I
Yeah.
don't think there's competition. This looks amazing. I am so unbelievably excited and so unbelievably proud of myself. We're 10 minutes to 8 minutes to release and I have now gone through everything. Are you proud of me?
Nice.
I did it in just under 3 hours, except for the fact that Steelball just uploaded something.
Oh, perfect timing then.
Yeah, let's look check out the brand new teaser together, shall we? I'll remain silent. I'll remain silent for it. So we can fully experience it together without me being an annoying person over top. It's a 6-second video clip, so it's pretty small, but the show is about to begin.
Oh yeah, makes sense that they release it right now.
Okay, that did seem like pretty much nothing, but there's actually some really big things here. First off, there's one big thing. I'm sorry, there's only one. This area that you see actually matches the description from what we heard the main menu screen is at PAX West. This is the intro cutscene you get from starting up the game. Like every time you boot up the game, this is the main menu animation.
Well, I think it is. Yeah.
This is also
But it's also the
sorry.
It's also the entrance. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, this circle with like costumes all around it, which isn't lit up yet, but I assume it will be, as we know from the PAX West footage. People were talking about it. This, it might seem small and minor and not very interesting, but think about the amount of times Fights at Freddy's has had a cutscene that opens every time you boot up the game. This is by far the coolest one. A nice, clean, smooth in, walk in with a couple of decorations here in the middle of a big area. Like, compare that to Hellpointed 2, where it's just kind of like the screen flashes and plays loud noises at you. So I think this is kind of nice. I am fond of this. As much as it is simple, I am fond of it. And I am very, very thankful that this wasn't a huge thing to theorize on, because I've got no time for that. Oh, man, this game looks so freaking amazing. So, now what do I do? Because the game drops in 6 minutes. I think I'm going to chill in this stream for another 6 minutes. Just gonna chill. And then I'll start downloading. Yeah, I'll stop the stream actually to start downloading Secret of the Mimic because
Makes
it's
sense.
about to release, I'm pretty sure.
You said you were going to make it a different stream, right?
Yes, I'm going to start up a new stream. So for people who are in chat, if you want to see me boot up the game and play the game, please keep watch on my channel for a little bit after 2, because it releases presumably at 2. Does it release at 3? Hang on. In 1 hour. Wait, does it actually release at 3?
Wait.
Okay, new plan. Here's what you should do. You should subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. And then come back when I start streaming again, so you can see my playthrough of the game. If you want to see me play it, I actually highly suggest checking out the game for yourself. Because I have a feeling this is going to be really peak. And also, I actually recommend you to record the footage as well. And maybe if you want to, join my Discord server and send your footage there, because I want to see people's reactions to this game as well. I think this is going to be a really cool game to see reactions for. So, like, if you can send me your footage.
This game is going to reveal a lot, I feel.
Yeah. Send me, if you're in my Discord server, you can send it to me there. My Discord server's somewhere around. I'm assuming it's pinned to my channel somewhere. Otherwise, if you don't feel like doing that, that's fine too. It's just if you want to. Another thing is you don't have to stay subscribed. If you want to see me play this game and just this game, you can just unsubscribe after. It's not that big of a deal. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have so much fun playing this. And spoiler alert, if this is 3 and I have to wait an hour for this, I'm not gonna go to sleep. Like, I'm not sleeping tonight. This is being played tonight. This morning. Sorry, this morning. Oh, this is by far the most excited I've been for a Fights Phrase release in a long time. It looks so good. This is the best a Fights Phrase game has ever looked.
Absolutely. That's for sure.
I have one single piece of hopium. One thing that I can't say with confidence will be here, but I'm hoping will be. And that's office sections. Like classic sit and survive office sections. Because I think a mixture of modern and classic gameplay styles would be good. Anyway, I've actually just checked and refreshed my page. I've actually lost all my viewers anyway, so I'm not really talking to many people. Apparently, according to YouTube anyway. So I think I'm just going to cut the stream here. This was my predictions and my me going through everything, every piece of promo material for this game, just for documentation's sake of what I felt before going into this game. I'm about to, in either 2 minutes or 1 hour, depending on when this actually drops, gonna stream this game, and I hope to see some people there, or at least see the VOD or something. I just, man, I can't wait to get my reactions out. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream now. Thanks for joining me, Sada. You've been fun to talk with.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think I'll pack up things and go to the library to study for a bit.
Yeah, and I'll see you in the comment section, because yeah, I'm assuming you'll be, or my DMs, or I assume you'll message me somewhere, because you'll be excited to
Yeah,
see
I'll
my
probably join
reactions.
later, or maybe in a couple. Maybe when I come back home from studying.
Spoiler alert, I'll be playing this pretty much non-stop, so I think whenever you're available, just hit me up on Discord. I'll leave my Discord opened. So yeah, then we can VC or so. Actually, no, I can't promise that actually. Because I told another friend of mine I'd VC with them. Um I'll work it out,
Oh,
I'll
so
work it
you
out.
told me about that. Yeah, no
Worst
problem.
case scenario, I'll just put you both in the same server and we can stream in a group chat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind just watching the stream.
You maybe I'll have to sideline you a little bit here, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Either way, thanks for joining. It was fun. I'll see you later.
No problem. Yeah, bye.